Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I certainly can. Okay. All good. Welcome to a beautiful day at Deakin Stadium, live on Bar TV Sports. It's Women's National Premier League Football top of the table clash, Belconnen United versus Canberra FC. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator this afternoon. Joining me on the commentary gantry is Canberra Olympic and Canberra United star Grace Maher. Grace, first of all, welcome back to the commentary box, your second time here. How's your progress coming with your injury?
Yeah, so far really good, looking on track. Hopefully be back in the next couple of weeks and push for that spot in the top four.
You were telling me off air that you're doing a bit of running now as well, and it's feeling a lot better than it was before. Yeah,
I had a good session with incorporating a bit of sprinting in to test out how successful the surgery was, and so far it's pain-free, and hopefully it continues to get better.
Well, your team's pushing for that top four, moved up 5 points clear into 5th place yesterday with a 4-1 win at Monaro Panthers, puts you 3 points behind Gungahlin, who played today. The 4-1 win categorised by a blitz of 4 goals in the first half. Grace Field in the 14th minute, Emma Gow, Meg McLaughlin and Chiara Gaspari scored 4 times in the first half. Alicia Moran and Paul Bombat for Monaro Panthers, but no goals in the second half. They packed away the queue and decided to declare at half-time.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely wasn't the game plan, but, we put ourselves in a good position in that first half to perhaps pull off the burners a little bit, but we're definitely looking now to get a stronger 90 minutes rather than a 45. But yeah, it was some really positive play and some really good team goals and some great individual finishes too.
Canberra United play today against Tuggeranong United away. They'd have to be favourites to win that. If they did, that would put them on to 25 points from 12 games in 3rd place. And Gungahlin have 19, Canberra Olympic 16, Woden Western 14. That means the match over at Woden Western versus Gungahlin. Big game for both those teams this afternoon as well. If Gungahlin win, they can stretch the lead over you guys to 6 points. If Woden win, they're right back in the mix as well.
Yeah, look, obviously as a Canberra Olympic player, would love for Woden to get the 3 points. But we still have another game against Gungahlin to try close that gap, and if results can go our way as well, it should be a tight finish for that top 4.
A good race there. At the moment, we're talking about who's going to be top of the ladder. At the moment, Belconnen United come into this match with Canberra FC, game in hand, 11 wins from 11 games, 33 points, goal difference of plus 49. They're looking sensational form this year.
Yeah, it's a really strong, really well-rounded team this season. They lost a couple of key players, but credit to the development they have going on at Belconnen. They've able to bring up some younger players and give them some opportunities, and I think they've really taken it and yet again are one of the top contenders for the championship.
And 7 clean sheets in a row for Belconnen United. Well, they've only conceded 3 goals all season. The last goal that they did concede was in round 4 against Canberra Olympic, and a 3-1 victory for them there. Since then, 7 clean sheets in a row as well, and they're banging in the goals at the other end. The last 3 games they've played, 16-0 against Monaro Panthers, 7-0 against Olympic in the return fixture, and 5-0 against Woden Western. Where can you stop them?
Look, they're fantastic. It's one of those things where you try to find the weakness in the park, and unfortunately, Belconnen seem to have strong backline, midfield and forward line. The last time they conceded was also off a free kick. So it just goes to show that maybe weaknesses can be in set pieces. And Canberra FC are quite strong in that. They've got Grace Gill, who's got a fantastic shot, and some players that are able to finish off scraps. So it'll be interesting to see how CFC hold them out, but get some back.
Well, they're not the only team in form. Canberra FC are in some blistering form themselves. They lost the first game of the season to Belconnen United in the grand final rematch. That one finished 4-0. We'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. But since then, they went on a 10-game winning streak themselves. That was brought to a halt in their last home game, a 1-1 draw here with the Canberra United Academy. But they're showing really good form as well.
Yeah, again, another really well-rounded team with some key players that are consistently scoring for them. But it's really good to see that a bit more competition this year, not so many teams completely dominating, and Canberra FC, it should be a really good battle against Belconnen today.
6 players missing from the Canberra FC lineup today: Marcia Wallace, Gabriella Risteski, Amy McLaughlin, Hayley McLaughlin and Chantal Jones, who's a big miss for them.
Yeah, obviously, for those that don't know, she suffered the ACL injury in the game versus CUA last weekend, and it's a massive loss for the team, and it's such a disappointment for Chantal, but we wish her the best for recovery. Goes in for surgery on Thursday, so she'll hope to be back and running around as soon as she can.
I think she threw her hand up to go in goal anyway, even with the brace on at one stage.
Yeah, I definitely, she didn't want to believe that it was true, wanted to keep running on, but no, it's good to have Grace Gill back in the side. That she was missing last week, so missed one but added another to the squad for this week.
It's just how important is Grace Gill to this Canberra FC lineup and the way they play. I mean, 9 goals she scored from midfield as well, which is a decent return for a midfielder.
Yeah, definitely. She's such a key part of this team, not only as a player but culturally. She's been with the club, I'm not even sure for how many seasons. She's a loyal player, really smart and technical player that really helps this Canberra FC team link up from the defence to the midfield. And like we've seen many times, she's scored some wonderful free kicks from just outside the box.
Well, she's actually scored 4 of their last 5 goals that Canberra FC have actually scored in the league. The only one she didn't get last week was against the Academy when Bridget Wright scored. This is Belconnen in the blue, just about to walk out. Just before we go into the lineup, so Grace, the first game of the season, it was 4-0 to Belconnen at Mackellar. How much of an impact does that play on this one, or is that one of those games where you just put it to the back of your mind and you go, well, it's first game of the year, we weren't a bit rusty and it's one to forget?
Yeah, well, I think, I was watching that game, and Canberra FC were missing both Grace and Chantal at that time, and I think that it will be in the back of their minds, but at the same time, it's now nearly on the back end of the season, and the teams develop and grow as a team, the fitness builds, and players start to get in form. So as much as Belconnen will probably come in the favourites for this game, you can expect it to be quite a tight match.
Our match officials in the middle there, Tom Wodzinski is refereeing the game today, assisted by Dale Sargent and Carla Martin. Belconnen United in the blue, Canberra FC in the red. Looking at the home team first, Canberra FC in goal, Natasja Vasta, Millie Mallinson, Ivana Galic, Isabella Tamaro and Alice Churchill across the back 4. Grace Gill and Jamie Barkley in midfield, Krista Hagan just in front of them, and a front 3 of Diana Genovese, Bridget Wright and Rachel Goldstein. Where's the strength in that side, Grace?
They have a little bit of strength, I think, definitely up in the central areas. You got some pace up front, especially with Rachel Goldstein, who's great with her feet. Intelligent midfielders, and Grace is able to play those balls in to centimetre perfect. But it'll be interesting. They're obviously missing Amy McLaughlin in that centre back role, and we'll see how Bella Tamaro can come in and fill that gap.
Well, there's 12 goals between the midfielders and 10 between the front 2 as well, front 3 as well. So there's plenty of goals in this Canberra FC side, as we mentioned. Belconnen United lineup with Clara Menenica in goal, 4 across the back for them: Sam Roth, Karen Clark, Lauren Keir and Bronte Pike. The midfield 3 of Michaela Day, Sam Price, Caitlin Munoz. Up front, Ellie Raymond, Jasmine Maguire and Madeline Whittle. Some names stand out on that team sheet, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see Caitlin Munoz back and playing. She had her first full game back against Canberra Olympic the other week, and she said she's certainly feeling it, but it's great to see that she's back. And then you've got some really experienced players in there, and Lauren Keir, Michaela Day in the central areas, with some strike force up front.
You say first full game back, that's 3 goals in 2 games since she's been back, so still knows how to find the target, Caitlin Munoz, which she's been around for a long time. Interestingly, every single outfield player in that starting 11's found the net this year, except for Lauren Keir.
Yeah, look, that doesn't surprise me. They've had some big wins, and one of the strongest things that Belconnen have is that anyone has the ability to score a goal, which means they're not reliant on one single player, which just shows the depth they have in their team.
The benches, Canberra FC name a very young bench. Sophia Evans, Zoe Langtree, Jess Langtree, Diane Wilson and Christina Compos-Grauer on their bench. The Langtree sisters named in the FC replacements. Belconnen United, strong bench for them as well. Georgia Fogarty, Nat Lacey, Leah Carnegie, Gemma Murphy and Nicole Jaloka. Would expect to see quite a few changes later on, and there's some good options for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think if the game is close, it's going to be down to the substitutes to try to change the game and get that match winner.
Well, it's Bridget Wright over the ball for Canberra FC in the red shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Taking the goal to our right as Tom Wazinski will get us underway. They'll look for a confident start if they can. Grace Gill's early ball down the wing. It's picked out, and the loose ball was picked up by Barkley. Churchill, who's been involved in the Canberra FC lineup for forever and a day, it would seem. Been a good servant to this club, hasn't she, Alice Churchill?
Yeah, definitely. She's such a strong player and a leader, and she's obviously wearing the captain's armband for good reasons, and she's a very tough opponent and won't give up for the full 90.
Clark has it at the back for Belconnen. Finds Keir. Likes to bring the ball forward. Look for options ahead. It's Maguire who's played it back, but she's given it away to Genovese, and a chance perhaps to put right through the middle. Keir's back to cover. First touch of the afternoon for Manenica, who sends it down the wing. And the loose ball's picked up by Barkley again. Beautiful day this afternoon. No wind at all. No cloud in the sky.
Yeah, it was lovely. I was out at Googong yesterday morning, and it was the exact same. No wind, and a rare treat for a Canberra winter, and no, it's great football weather.
A little bit different for us than it was last night at Belconnen in the men's game. It was freezing cold out there at McKellar.
Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as that sun drops, so does the temperature.
I'm sure it'll get a bit cooler here later on. So the action's hot on the pitch. Belconnen looking to get forward early on. Galich will pick it up. Tomorrow, 16-year-old, youngest in the side. Come through the Canberra United Academy, I believe, as well, Isabella Tomorrow.
Yeah, she's come through as a really good young talent, and yet last year she had a run in the Olympic Boys, which proved great value for her in developing defensively and on the ball, just being able to move the ball a bit quicker, and now she's made the move to Canberra FC.
Long clearance has found Raymond. She'll look to take on Mallinson for pace. And gets past her as well. Opportunity this for Belconnen. That's a good recovery tackle though from Millie Mallison. And she's helped out defensively by Galich. And Mallinson can come away. Fullback did very well there as Raymond looked, she got away for 1 second.
Yeah, she's got tons of pace down that wing, and she waits for that winger to take her on before switching on the afterburners and making a great tackle.
Pike finds her again, Raymond. Nice turn. Ball in the middle of the park though is short, and Hagan can knock it up towards right. Who's playing on her own up front. Looks like there's almost a 5-person midfield for FC. Clark looks to find Pike on this side, but the flag's gone up. We think we might see that defensively for Canberra FC when Belconnen have got the ball. They play with a 5 in the middle across the park.
Yeah, I think, obviously defensive minded, knowing how Belconnen like to control the game. So if they can be clinical on the counter, then could work really well for them.
Well, early days, of course, here live on Bar TV Sports. Top 2 teams in the women's competition in Canberra going toe-to-toe. Sun hasn't helped defensively there, and Goldstein was after it. Found Genovese, who's balled into the penalty area, harmlessly through to Manenica. Goes short to get us back underway. Clark likes to play these balls forward and find the pace of her attackers. Pike was after that one. Galich is in to get involved though. Mallinson can tidy up. Those long balls from defence from Karen Clark have caused problems for most teams this year.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the game back in round 4 when I was still on the pitch. She was constantly hitting those long balls, but it wasn't just a clearance. She's looking for the runners, and Belconnen often are chasing those balls down and forcing an error, if not winning the ball.
She did it just then, but Galich came across and covered it well. Gives the ball away to Raymond. Price gives it back. Raymond goes back to Clark. Comfortable in possession, Belconnen, so they happily bring it forward. Lauren Keir again. Has Roth outside her. No press on the Belconnen defence. Price looks to turn Barkley in midfield. Keir sends it forward. Little touch from Munoz. And that was well played by Mallinson at the back once more. But it's going to come straight back again. Belconnen looking to turn the screw early. Whittle. 10 goals for her this season. Madeline Whittle, the leading scorer for Belconnen.
Yeah, and that just goes to show 10 goals, despite them having scored numerous amounts of goals, that even their top goal scorer isn't miles ahead. And but I'm sure she'll be looking to get a couple more and make that race for the Golden Boot a little bit tighter.
Yeah, 52 league goals for them this season, which is a good effort. The Golden Boot leader, of course, is Aoife Colville over at Canberra United Academy with 21 already this season, which is a phenomenal effort.
Yeah, it's fantastic. She's obviously, for CUA, the strike power, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to catch her if she continues her form throughout the season.
Well, she's bagging multiple goals every week, isn't she? So it's going to be difficult for anyone to catch her.
Yeah, I know, especially if I only have 5 games. I'm going to have to be scoring 10 or so goals each game just to catch up to her.
A double hat-trick one week as well for her as well, which is quite impressive.
Very good. Would be happy with herself, and I'm sure her dad Andrew would be very pleased.
And she had a spell at Belconnen United as well.
Yeah, before she came over to have a try with Canberra United and try out for there. She moved down, I believe, from Cairns, and moved down under Ray Dower. And after a season with Canberra Belconnen, she made the Canberra United squad, and now she's a great part of that setup.
Well, you guys will see her next week. Canberra United taking on Canberra Olympic, I believe, and the Academy at Hawker. I think that one is penciled in for us to cover next Saturday, so be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. You know, last time we versed them, it was in round 1, and we came away with a win in a very high-scoring game. So it'll be interesting to see if the both teams' defences have improved, and whether it's a close game but a lower scoring game.
Clark's over this free kick, swings it into the area. Churchill got a piece of it, helped away, and Gill just hooks it in the air. Day sends it back as a Belconnen player down on their haunches. I think it's Ellie Raymond, is it? Or maybe a kick to the chest. The sore one.
Yeah, might just be a little bit winded there, just trying to catch her breath, or perhaps it's her wrist, I'm not sure.
Decent ball in from Clark, as you'd expect, and good touch from Churchill. Upshot is a throw into Belconnen United. And yeah, she's holding her wrist a bit gingerly here. Maybe she landed awkwardly. Ellie Raymond, another who played for Canberra United in the early days of the W League.
Early seasons. Was made aware of that not too long ago, actually. But she's remained a really strong player for Belconnen every season, making plenty of Ks up and down that line.
I called a game in which he scored, I believe, for Canberra United one time. At home at McKellar Park there.
Oh, fantastic.
Here she is, looking to add to the tally this season, and she's scored twice for Belconnen. Can't keep that in on the far side. Be throw for Canberra FC. Nice ground to play at this at Deakin Stadium. Pitch is always a decent surface. And
yeah, it's a great pitch and great size, great surface, nice and quick, and it's great to be able to play on quality pitches like this.
Scrap around the area, shot comes in, and it was a fierce drive too from Munoz, but straight down the throat of Vasta, who positioned herself very well and sends a long raking kick forward. Bounce is going to be awkward here with a send for Keir. Nods it down, Genovese's there, but Day beats her to the ball. Here's Pike. Raymond behind. A little triangle to get themselves out of that problem, and here's Pike looking for a runner. Maguire thought about going but didn't, and Galich has read the pass. Happy to go back to Vasta, who again strikes the ball very well. And Raymond can't control. Decent clearance from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, got nearly 3/4 of the pitch.
Right, a welly up the park. Raymond wins it. Day picks up the pieces. Munoz is there, 50-50 challenge, just clatters into Barkley in midfield, and the ball is with Whittle looking for Maguire. Whittle takes over again. Raymond was there, but Mallinson got a foot in, and that's well done by Hagan as well defensively. Roth finds Price, looked for the return pass but didn't go. Roth, and Canberra FC survived that one.
Yeah, they're looking really tight in defence, coming in nice and narrow to block those central shots. They'll have to be careful of that rebound and the follow-up, which we've already seen Munoz have a shot from, and Michaela Day nearly had a chance again.
Madeline Whittle could be key on that right-hand side. She's swapping with Maguire on numerous occasions already, going left and right, and she's got that ability to play down the middle as well.
Yeah, they've both got pace and great feet, and Belconnen love to interchange not only their front line but their fullbacks and wingers, so constant movement, and it makes it a lot harder for the defenders of Canberra FC to read.
Right, with challenging in there with Clark. And Belconnen have the throw. Long one forward, and Churchill will send it straight back from whence it came. Anthony Jagarinik sending Clark away so that Roth comes to take the throw. That's proactive coaching for you.
Yeah.
Here's Clark prodding it forward, but Hagen's picked it up. Looking for the run of Goldstein. Haven't really got her into the game just yet.
No, not yet, but I assume she's a very skillful and a great dribbler of the ball, and if she does get an opportunity to go 1v1 with the Belconnen players, I'm sure she'll be very dangerous for Canberra FC.
Scored 5 goals this season, Rachel Goldstein, most of them coming in the early parts of the year. She's gone 5 games without a goal at the moment, so she'll be keen to get back on the score sheet. Churchill's ball forward, Roth just nods it down, gets it back again, and once more from Clark. Belconnen, as they always are, happy to go backwards to come forwards. Keir in possession. Look for Raymond, but put a bit too much beef on that pass.
Yeah, Belconnen are often quite used to having teams sit off them, so they've got plenty of time at the back, and there's really no excuse as to why we can't make those passes. But
Mallinson with a long throw, comes for the back of Pike. Day's there. Well, she finds Clark. We'll look for that long ball again with the right foot and over the top towards Raymond, but Galich is there, and it's fallen nicely for Raymond though. Clips it towards the far post. Opportunity here. Churchill's there, half clears it. Barkley should make the rest of the clearance as well, and the chance goes a begging. Just a misjudgment there from Galich in the back, allowing Raymond half a side of goal.
Yeah, Raymond took the gamble to see if the CFC players missed it, and she came out with the ball, but again, just a simple miscommunication from the CFC backline.
Challenge between Hager and Day, and that's a free kick. Krista Hagen through the back of Michaela Day. And Clark wanders across and takes most of the set pieces for Belconnen in these sort of areas. Munoz has taken up a position in the centre on the edge of the penalty area, and Grace Gill's gone with her. The bounces and the shot comes in from Price, blocked by Barkley. Goldstein brings it away. Now Hagen. Genovese on her bike down the right hand side, but that's asking too much for the winger. All the way through to Menenica. We've played 13 minutes live on Bar TV Sports, Deakin Stadium. Women's National Premier League football from Canberra. Canberra FC nil, Belconnen United nil, the top 2 teams in the competition. No real chances of note just yet. Keir tries to send a long ball forward. Been a fairly cagey opening from both teams.
Yeah, I think as the game goes on and they're tired and some mistakes start to creep in, some more clear-cut opportunities might come. But as of yet, it's been a pretty even game in terms of chances. But yet again, Belconnen is still dominating possession.
A lot of it through Ellie Raymond on this near side. She loses possession this time. Here's a chance for Goldstein to find Hagen. Pike's there. Tidies up. Menenica asked a fair bit of the full-back there, and she did well to bring it under a spell. Munoz. Gill is the shadow. Back to Clark, who's had as many touches as anybody in this opening quarter. Once again she goes long, looking for Whittle, who can't get there. And again it's harmlessly out of play. They've tried these diagonal balls a few times now out wide. Is it something, it's not really working for them at the moment. Do you think Anthony Jagarinik will ask them to maybe shorten the game up a bit, or will they keep persisting?
I think the idea that is right there. It's just a matter of where they're doing it in the park, and they're playing these diagonal balls from halfway, which the CFC backline's dropping off, and it's not becoming so much of a threat. So I think you might encourage them to dribble a little bit further and make those diagonal passes become more so of a killer pass.
Well, they've got 3 players in the middle of the park in Michaela Day, Sam Price and Caitlin Munoz. They're all good footballers, but they've bypassed them at the moment. Here's Kia bringing it out from the back. Looking to slide the ball in the channel for Pike. Back there challenging is Genovese. Does well to concede the corner. Track the runner well.
Yeah, another really quick player. I used to play with her younger sister, Jasmine Genovese, and they're both quick as lightning. It was a great recovery run, especially coming from the wide out on the wing.
She doesn't look very old herself, Diana Genovese.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe 2021, but yeah, still quite young, considering the experience they have in this CFC team.
Good ball swung towards the far post, headed away by Gill, their most experienced player. Kier chips it back into the danger area. Vasta needs to be careful here and collects that nicely. Always a danger when you see someone like Clark coming in on you to take your eye off the ball. She gives that a fair launch as well, and it hits Bridget right on the back. It's picked up easily by Roth and sent forward looking for Whittle. FC there in numbers again. They've defended the threat out wide fairly well in the opening stages. We're pleased their coach Mark Grostesky.
Yeah, they've got some really good 1v1 battles in the park today. You got Churchill and with a ever rotating forward line, but mostly Madeline Whittle, and then you got Grace Gill and Munoz on the ball, on the park together, and so there'll be some good battles out there today.
And Bridget Wright, she's not normally a 9, is she? She's not normally a number 9, but she's been asked to do the job today.
Yeah, I think they'll, probably not one of the quickest players on the park, and I think they'll be looking more so to hit her on the feet, control the ball, and play some of her quick wingers through.
Hagen challenges. Whittle rides that challenge and finds Maguire. Her ball forward is picked up by Churchill, the captain of this SC team. Mickey Day not pleased with herself as she hooks that one forward. Challenges in there from Maguire, but the free kick is awarded. Bit cross with herself with the Munoz, rather it was. Oh no, it wasn't Mickey Day. It was a bit cross with herself with the second attempt. Tried to bring it down and then lost it in the sunshine, maybe.
Yeah, that sun's right in their eyes at the moment in this half. So Canberra Seed could look to make the most of that in getting some balls up high and trying to catch a mistake off the Belconnen backline.
You can see by the lengthy shadows how much of a problem it's causing. Price Goldstein's over there with Roth. Raymond came back to win. Now Day turns. Wright got a foot in, but it fell nicely for Munoz. And she's happily to go back to Clark and start again. Belconnen United, as we said, top of the table, 2 points clear of Canberra FC heading into this one with the game in hand. Clark's out wide to Roth. The centre back gets it again. You can see the style of football they're happy to play. They're happy to have Lauren Keir and Karen Clark on the ball as often as they want.
Yeah, they're both great with the ball and like to carry it forward and can hit those long balls and also find passes into the midfield, which is their strength. But at the moment, they seem to be missing out a lot of the midfield, and Caitlin and Michaela Day are struggling to get on the ball, and I think that's an outlet that they're missing. And
that's you made it as a commentator now, Grace. As soon as you say she's great on the ball, she slices one into touch. That means you've made it.
Maybe I just got to stop playing.
The commentator's curse.
Go straight to commentating as a career.
Often, as you say, someone's good at something, they'll make you a liar on the field.
No.
Munoz, that's a sharp turn. Gill's with her though. Nice pass though to find Day. Skips away from the challenge of Barkley.
Yeah, Munoz loves a little cheeky nutty. It's 2 so far that I've counted, so keep an eye out for those. Ball in for Roth. Galich has gone in there. It's come off a knee, and she needs to be careful here, the defender, and shepherds the ball out of play for a corner. And opportunity for Belconnen from a set piece. Karen Clark will jog forwards to add some height into the middle. The chance for the Blue Devils to load the penalty area. Plenty of blue shirts in there. Only Roth and Keir back. See what options they can find. It's a decent looking ball too. The header comes in. It's half a chance. It's a good save from Vasta. Falls for Pike. It's deflected and it's in off the underside of the crossbar.
Bronte Pike will claim it. It took a significant deflection on the way, and Belconnen United make the breakthrough.
Yeah, look, it was a pretty good ball in and was contested well. Not sure really what happened in the box there, but like I said, follow-up shots are so important, and Bronte's reaping the rewards with the shot deflection, but inside of the crossbar.
Yeah, I think the header may have come in from either Munoz or Clark. It was a decent save from Vasta from the ricochet, though. It came out to Pike, and she struck it firmly, didn't she? And I think it may have come off the head of Grace Gill, or one of the defenders, and it's kissed the underside of the crossbar as it's gone in, and it's a big goal for Belconnen to get them underway.
Yeah, might for them be able to settle the nerves and allow them to start playing football on the ground a little bit more and taking on those 1v1 battles, and I'm sure they'll be looking to double their lead before that half time.
That's a fourth of the season for the left back. It's a very productive return. Asked to do some defensive duties now. Clark clears it. Raymond helps it on its way. Hagen brings it down, but Mickey Day steals it off her toe. And off she goes. And that's a good piece of covering defending by Mallison. Not the ideal start for Canberra FC to go 1-0 down at home.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be disappointed with that because there wasn't a clear-cut chance, and they were hoping probably to keep it low scoring and get them on the counter, so they're going to have to work even harder and maybe start pressing if they want to get a goal back.
They didn't really deserve to go behind in that fashion. They've defended very well, and they defended that corner very well, but it was a firmly struck shot by Bronte Pike, and certainly got a piece of it and enough. It may well have gone in without the deflection anyway, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a good strike on target, and sometimes that's all you need, and sometimes luck can fall your way, and as it did, she's bagged herself another goal playing at left back, so it's really good for the youngster.
Likes to get forward often and does so.
Yeah, uses those long legs of hers, get up and down on the left-hand side, it's really good. She's another Canberra United academy youngster that has been playing with Belconnen, and Ant's done a fantastic job in growing her to be able to start every week for the first grade.
Galich plays it out, half clears it, and the ball in around the back, and here's Munoz, and out comes Vasta, and that's some great goalkeeping, confident, and out there straight away to clear, and that's what you want as a defender, to see your keeper making those decisions. Yeah,
it's crucial when you're playing, the balls are played in behind, your keeper's ready on their toes to make those clearances, but great run from Munoz there and a great ball through.
Churchill wins a header and then completes the clearance. Belconnen have had most of the possession and most of the territory, but FC have defended very well. Their back four of Mallison, Galich, Tomorrow and Churchill. Keeping out this high-scoring Belconnen team is crucial for as long as they can. The goal from Pike separating the two sides. FC would like to probably get a bit more possession in dangerous areas though, Grace.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of their possession has been in the back line, and like you saw just then, cheap giveaways that turn the ball over to Belconnen, and again, then they're on the back foot defending, and they'll tire quickly if it continues.
Guild in there. She's been seen more defensively than attacking wise so far today. Munoz finds Day. Chance for Raymond, but she can't keep that in play. Shadowed well by Tomorrow. Didn't give her an opportunity to keep it in. A chance for Belconnen maybe to close Canberra FC in right at the corner. Goldstein's touch lets her down, and they've gifted possession back to the Blue Devils. Roth to take the throw. Raymond gives it her back. Goldstein atones for error by getting a toe in. And as they have done for most of the afternoon, Belconnen come back to start again with Clark. Price. Touch to Day. She finds Munoz. Nice build up this. Munoz from distance tries a ambitious effort. But if someone could score from that range, it is Munoz. Didn't really threaten the goalkeeper then, but shows the confidence she's got.
Yeah, definitely. She's moving really well around the park, and she loves a goal from distance. It's less running for her to get back to halfway. But yeah, she'll expect those shots, especially if the keeper's off a line. She's a smart player and loves to score goals.
Grace, it's been noticeable early on that Grace Gill has been maybe tasked with the opportunity of marking Caitlin Munoz, and it takes a little bit away from her as an attacking threat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously they've identified they're both long-time teammates, so she knows her strengths and vice versa with Munoz knowing hers. So it'll be a good battle, but I think, yeah, she's now unable to get on the ball as much as she'd like. But like you see there, that's what she loves to do in that sixth position, is play that ball into the wide areas and look for her wingers out wide.
That was better. If you're looking for the run of Goldstein, it was a decent ball and the chase was on, but the ball beat both Goldstein and the covering defender. And Menenica's happy to go short to get it back again. Clark, no real press from FC in the final third at the moment. She finds Pike. Throw into Belconnen. Run is from Maguire, and that's well won by Mallinson. Pike just edges his way up the line. Price. Channel from Barkley. Falls nicely for Maguire. Drills it across the 6-yard box. Into an opportunity. That's a fantastic save from Vasta when it looks certain that Raymond was going to make it 2-0. Wrong-footed, diving the wrong way, stuck an arm out. What a fantastic stop.
Yeah, it was a fantastic save. Yeah, she obviously took a step one way, and Ellie Raymond was really unlucky not to score then. A great build-up play and a great cross from Maguire, and a fantastic save to keep Canberra FC in the game.
I mean, that was a world-class stop. That was looked like a goal all the way from Raymond. As I said, Vasta going across the line the wrong way, and then to change angle so quickly, get down and get a strong arm on that to push it away. That would have impressed Chantal Jones on the bench.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be proud of that. Maybe something she's taught her, but no, I think it's really good to see the quality of keepers stepping up in this Canberra League. It's so crucial, especially matches like these. It can be the difference between a win and a loss.
She's keeping her side in it at the moment. It is 1-0. Pike's goal the difference. Whittler can't get control of that, so it comes back to Pike. Genovese did enough to force her to miscontrol the ball. And Canberra FC will be looking to get more effective in the final third if they can. To do so, they need to get hold of the ball in midfield. Pike wins the header. Here's Genovese looking for Wright. Just nudged off the ball by Whittle, but the throw goes Canberra FC's way. Whittle, fair to say, doesn't agree with that.
Definitely doesn't agree. He's vocal with it too. Doesn't surprise me.
Here's a chance for Genovese. First time we've seen her as an attacking sense. Good ball in field as well. Barkley finds Gill. Looks to go forward, gives it back to Barkley. Hagen. Pike picks up the loose ball. Now finds Whittle. Mallison's tight, but Whittle's turned her well, and Mallison does well to get back. It's a good battle, this one.
Yeah.
Mallison wins that.
Two very quick players that like to get the ball out in front in space, so it's going to be a great battle, and so far Mallison's coming out on top.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like Whittle had got away, but then Mallison recovered very well. Here they go again. This time Whittle does win the duel, but Galich helps out her teammate. And Genovese can bring it forward. Hagen with a pocket of space in which to work. Looks for Wright. Clark comes across and happy to send that out of play. 16 minutes to play in the first half. What's your overall impression so far, Grace?
I think it's been pretty even in terms of opportunities, but obviously Belconnen's been dominating. It'd be great to see CFC start to press a little and take a couple more chances getting bodies forward, because when they are in that front third, they seem to be without an option, and as you see, they're often being forced back or kicking the ball out.
They haven't tested Menenica in terms of any shots on target just yet, and to be fair, apart from that fantastic save from Vasta and the goal, there's not been an awful lot for her to do in the FC goal.
No, early on in games you often find the shot tally is a little bit lower, but as those legs start to tire and the brain starts to switch off a little bit, then we'll hopefully see some more clear-cut chances and some more goals.
I can see you bouncing up and down on the platform here. You want to get out and play, don't you?
Yeah, I'm very excited to get back, and it's only when you don't get to play football you realise how much you miss it. And watching it, even though the World Cup's on, is not quite enough for me. But no, it's great to see quality football being played in Canberra, and I'm really excited to be back.
Got the old twitchy feet.
Yeah,
going on.
The kick has the player's about to kick the ball, or I just hope I don't kick anything.
Kick over all the equipment. It's a Belconnen United free kick, which Lauren Keir's behind. They lead 1-0 live on Bar TV Sports. Ruff's gone short to pick it up. Swings it into the penalty area. Well cleared by Gill though. Right. Bit of time to bring it down, and Clark's on her very quickly on her second touch. And then looked for the ball forward, and Tamara is happy to just let that one roll back out of play, and Vasta will take the goal kick. Four matches in the competition next week. Next Saturday, round 14, Tuggeranong United play Canberra FC. The Academy play Canberra Olympic. Belconnen United will be home to Gungahlin United, and Woden Western will play Monero Panthers. So 4 interesting matches to look forward to next week. We'll try and keep you up to date with what's happening at Woden Western and Gungahlin, and any goals from the Men's Premier League. 2 matches there today. Tigers versus Tuggeranong United, Monero versus Canberra Olympic. Both of those kick off at 3 o'clock, of course. Here's Pike as Belconnen United look to add their name to the winners list this weekend, which includes Canberra Olympic. 4-1 winners over Monero Panthers yesterday afternoon. Was that match played at Google?
We played at Riverside Stadium, so probably preference would have been to play at Google. It's quite a quick and even surface out there, but the field out at Riverside's a little bit thicker, but it didn't stop us scoring some goals, which is really good to see.
There's a chance for Goldstein on the break. Tries the shot. Didn't get much on it, but at least it was more positive for Canberra FC on that occasion. First time we saw Rachel Goldstein in the opposing penalty area. Keir finds Day. Short passing of Belconnen, and Day's peeled away to create a bit of space. 2 red shirts near her, but none enough to influence the challenge. Here's Raymond to Maguire. You can see what she was trying to do, poke that round the corner. It's fallen nicely for Munoz. Sends it back into the penalty area. Galich wins the header. Raymond picks it up, and I'm not sure what she was trying to do there, but all she's done is given the ball away to Wright. And Barclay's given it straight back to Day. Whittle looks to find the run of Munoz. A little bit scrappy period of play.
Yeah, a couple of turnovers. It'd be great to see the team pick it up and really treasure that possession and create some goal-scoring chances. At the moment, it seems a bit kick and hope, and nothing's really coming of it.
There seems to be more time on the ball than they think at the moment, and a couple of early passes, which I think a couple more touches might help them out. Churchill's getting involved in the challenge over there with Whittle. Canberra FC stalwart Alice Churchill. She's played something like 7,000 games, I think, or something for Canberra FC. She's been here for a long time.
I'm sure she's been come up as a junior, and it is really good to see that loyalty that remains at clubs. It shows they must be getting looked after and enjoyable season after season.
And she's got a good left foot from a set piece as well, if they get within range. Alice Churchill doesn't take many free kicks and stuff as she used to, but can score a goal.
And it's great to have a left-footed player at your disposal when that angle is not quite right for someone like Grace Gill. And it's often can be the difference with free kicks if the opportunity arises.
I think when you've got Gill and Jones in front of you in the queue, though, you've not got much chance of getting a shot at goal, have you?
No, not quite. You got Grace with more so the curling technique, and Chantel with the power. She's scored a couple assists when she was playing with Canberra United from her goal kick. So on to Ash Sykes, so we know she's got the power there, but unfortunately sidelined now with an injury.
And those of you with good memories will obviously remember the grand final last year when Grace Gill launched a shot from outside the area which drew her team level with virtually the last kick of the game. And then Chantal Jones heroics in the penalty shootout meant that Canberra FC ended Belconnen's monopoly of the silverware in Canberra.
Yeah, it was a really fantastic and dramatic finish to the season, and I think a lot of players, supporters were cheering on Canberra FC. The underdog wanted them to win, and we couldn't help but be very excited for Canberra FC for holding out, and Chantel had an incredible game that really helped them win.
Well, they certainly poked the bear, and Belconnen have responded with 11 straight wins to start the season, determined to get their crown back. What they've got here is a free kick. It's like a shove in the back is the signal. But the referee, what's he giving here? Is he giving a free kick, or has he just overruled them? Bit of communication issue, I think, between Tom Wodzinski and Dale Surgeon on the far side.
Yeah, I think regardless if it's a free kick or a corner, it's set up similar. So
it's definitely a free kick. He's signalling the shove. So anyway, free kick it is, and a chance for Belconnen to extend their lead. Chipped into the penalty area, one at the near post by Goldstein, headed straight back into the danger area, and the clearance is nodded clear by Churchill, but there was an infringement, and the free kick will go Canberra FC's way. They've dealt in the main with those free kicks very well. The only set piece that's caused them issue was the goal, of course, the header which Vasta saved, and they got rid of that too in the first instance. Yeah, they're
seeming to win every header in their defensive area. They've got some great players that are not only tall but fierce, and like you said, there's only been that one chance that they failed to clear it and resulted in the goal.
It's a chance for them forward. Hagen looking for Genovese. Now, could she take on Pike? Genovese onto the edge of the area on that right foot, looking for an option. Chips it towards the far post. It's dipping, and have Manenica in trouble. And Roth completes the clearance. Whether she meant that chip or not, it caused problems for Manenica.
Yeah, I think they call them the Scrosses. The
Scross.
Yeah. Not sure what it is, but if it's in the back of the net, I'm sure she'll claim it as a shot.
It came off the side of the boot, didn't it, and caused a bit of problems for the goalkeeper. For a moment, Hart would have been in mouth. Dave finds Kier. She might look for that longer ball again. Does. Maguire came a bit deeper for it, and Galich picks it up. Barkley, unfortunately, she treads on the ball, and Day says thank you very much. Gill's close to her again, though, and Churchill makes the interception. Now Goldstein. Churchill. Gill looking to step away from the challenge, and does just that.
Yeah, she did really well there, but no one's making those forward runs for her, and you can see the frustration on her face, and I'm sure that'll be a talking point at half time.
We've got 8 minutes left of this first half. Hagen picks it up for Canberra FC in midfield, now finds Genovese. Back to Hagen. Munoz and Day close down the options, so she has to go back to Genovese. Looks to play the 1-2. Gets back to Hagen, rather fortunately, but Mickey Day was in there, and the referee Tom Wodzinski's given a free kick. A bit of a nudge on Hagen, an opportunity perhaps for a shot at goal from Gill with this sun as well. This could cause some problems for Manenica. Yeah,
if she can get the distance required, and it's, it might prove a little bit difficult.
It's a fair way out, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think she'll be looking here for someone's head or a tap in.
Plenty of height on that far post. Galich is in there, Goldstein's in there. The ball was a bit too flat. It's dropped on the edge of the area. Hagen tries her luck, and it was dipping. And Manenica's forced into her first real save of the match. There is noticeably some height in this team, isn't there? If you look at Galich and Goldstein, Gill, Barkley as well, Churchill. There's a bit of height in this Canberra FC team, and as you said earlier before, set pieces perhaps is the way forward.
Yeah, not only you can have height, but one of the things you love to see is that they all attack the ball and use that height to their ability, and that's something that perhaps if they are a little bit closer to goal and the ball in is good, they can punish Belconnen.
Well, Tamara dawdled on that one. Here's a chance for Price. Galich got a knee in the way, and it breaks for Gill. Right. Hagen to Genovese. Now right. Hagen again. Better football from FC, getting a period of possession
Yeah, they're looking to keep the ball.
There you go. That's
There
two
we
for
go.
two for you. Grace Gill is the one that gave that away. That's very much unlike her. Here's Raymond.
Yeah.
Dug out of a hole by Mallinson. Good piece of defending again from the fullback, who's enjoyed a very good first 45 minutes.
Yeah, she was really strong when we last versed Canberra FC, and again having a great game against some really strong wingers.
Right finds Genovese. Gill looks to scan before she received the ball. Goes back to Genovese. Was nothing on. Mallinson to clip it down the line to space, but got it slightly wrong. But encouraging signs for Canberra FC in the last 3 or 4 minutes. They've kept a bit of possession. They've forced to save out the goalkeeper. And we got a kangaroo bouncing around behind the goal.
Yeah, only in Australia.
Only in Australia, yeah.
I hope it doesn't come onto the field.
He's actually in the stadium, right here on the right-hand side,
I'm not sure
watching the match.
how he would have gotten in. So.
He's definitely in the ground. I'm not sure he's going to get out. He's watching the game so far.
Yeah, just enjoying
If anyone's
lovely
watching from overseas.
Sunday afternoon's match.
Grace Gill sends it forward. Raymond has it. Looks for Whittle. Still hanging around the kangaroo.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bothered at all to be trapped over in the corner, but it'll be interesting to see what its next move will be.
If it heads onto the field, I'm not entirely sure who's going to be looking after it. There we go. You're not missing anything while you're having a look at the kangaroo. The ball throw's just been
God,
taken.
they're coming.
He's coming this way, heading towards the commentary position.
Oh. I don't want it to.
That's the first time
That's so interesting. I've never seen that before, especially on an enclosed field.
yeah, it's in the enclosed field. I don't know how it's got in, but it's now at the back of the stand, having a bit of a watch of the match. Could be joining us in the commentary box shortly.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Day wins the ball, looks to send it forward. It's come off of Churchill. We'll keep an eye on that. Off he goes, back behind the goal. This is quite entertaining. Munoz miscontrols. Wright has it. Goldstein finds Gill. Get a corner down there. He could probably pop into there and knob one in.
Yeah, I've got a great leap. I'm not sure if anyone will be able to contest for a header with the kangaroo.
Galich brings it forward. Found Wright. Hagen. Nice from Goldstein. Barkley's there too. And the Kangaroos had enough. Wonder if he paid the admission fee.
Yeah.
Seen enough football and he's gone home. Munoz. Bit of a diversion for us there, Grace.
Yeah, no, lovely little bit of mid-game entertainment, and now back to hopefully some more entertainment on the field.
Back to the reason we're here. To watch some football live on Bar TV Sports. Women's MPL. It's Belconnen United leading Canberra FC by 1-0. Scored by Bronte Pike around the 20-minute mark.
It's back.
Munoz clearly hasn't had enough. Clark. Keir. Right-footed. Chips it towards Maguire, but Galich is there and it falls for Gill. Right. Now Gill. Have FC got a response in the final 2.5 minutes of the first half? Barkley sends it forward. Goldstein's touch is a little heavy. And Rofford picked it up. Now Clark. Keir. Day has not been as effective going forward as she usually is.
No, Canberra FC seem to be tightly marking their midfield, and credit to them. A lot of them haven't been able to get on the ball, but they're still finding joy out wide and got plenty of time in that back line.
Raymond looks for Whittle. And she looks to find Roth on the overlap, but it was read by Goldstein, who tracked back well. Plays a little 1-2 with Barkley. Can she get there? It's too heavy though, and Keir picks up the pieces, and Day and Price combine. Jagarinik wanted a free kick for the run being balked, but Belconnen have it back anyway. And the upshot is a throw-in on the far-hand side to Belconnen United into the final stages of the first half. 90 seconds to go. Canberra FC have come more into the match over the last 10 minutes. They'll want to hold out until half-time. No further damage to the tally. They might get one at the other end. Here's Goldstein. Berkeley. Real pressure from Munoz. They work it out well via Tamaro and Galic. To Mallinson. Nice touch in field, and this is better football. Genovese gets a touch too, and here's a chance. Keir's coming across. Genovese's quick, and Keir's quicker. But much better football.
Yeah, it was a good 1-2 touch football there. Belconnen were trying to press, but they were just a touch off, and that's how presses can go wrong. If you're not there, then you get picked off quite easily.
Throw in finds right. It's down towards the Kangaroo. Throw into Canberra FC. Mallinson goes to take it. Looks to throw it forward. Helped into the penalty area. Kangaroos coming along the front of the ground now, I think. Ball's skewed out of play for a throw-in. You'll be able to see the Kangaroo here right by the side of the field. Very interested spectator. Tom Wodzinski's said that's enough for half-time. The action on the field, Grace, as we focus on the Kangaroo down there watching the match. The goal by Bronte Pike separates the two sides. On the balance, you'd say probably fair enough.
Yeah, I think so. Belconnen, again, such a possession-dominant team.
Off he goes, Leaps. He's now on the field. Never commentated a Kangaroo race before, but he's got nowhere to go, which is unfortunate for the poor thing.
Seems to be quite convenient timing now that the game's at half-time. Hopefully someone can find a way to get him back outside the field.
Maybe this is the secret to the turf success here at Canberra FC. They've got a in-house Kangaroo, which they released to keep the pitch nice and short, heading in towards the penalty area. Anyway, we're going to take a 5-minute break and have a chat about this afterwards, and hopefully they've got the Kangaroo off the field and we can actually have some football in the second half, because it'll be quite interesting if he stays there. Thanks for your company in the first half, Grace. We'll be right back at half-time on Bar TV Sports in the Women's National Premier League. It is Belconnen United 1, Canberra FC 0. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium. The teams are out on the field for the second half, live on Bar TV Sports. But as you can see, we've still got an interloper on the field. And Grace, we're not going anywhere for the next 5 minutes or so until we get this kangaroo off the field, are we?
No, I don't think so, unless they find a way to play around it. But no, I think they're still trying to work out a way to get him out of the stadium because we haven't found out how he's come in.
It's an enclosed stadium here at Deakin as well, so I'm not sure how he's managed to get in, but he's lazing around in the penalty area in the half-time break, and they got him out of the ground and then he's come back in again, so obviously something in here attracting him, or he can't find a way out of the facilities. But that means that the players on the field at the moment, you can see the Canberra FC players there as well, just wondering how to get him out of the field. And we've got the Canberra FC kangaroo moving posse moving in, trying to figure out a way.
Yeah,
Had some interesting ways at half-time, didn't they?
I'm not sure really where they're trying to go with that because can't see any exits over the way they're trying to get the kangaroo off the field. Especially he was already out in the car park and somehow he's back on the field. But it will be interesting to see how we deal with this situation.
I've never seen anything like it. I've caught a lot of games, but this is the first time I've seen a kangaroo stop play. I've had pitch invaders at matches, but
yeah, but they're a little bit easier to handle. You can usually tackle them down without a worry, but
yeah.
I don't think they want to get too close to the kangaroo. We know how powerful they can be.
Well, the funny thing is, it's the utter disdain with which he's staring at them, going, "Yeah, I don't care. In the goal now."
Yeah, having a lovely sunbake on a lovely afternoon, and he doesn't seem too bothered at all.
On a more serious note, it's not great for the players, is it? They've just come out to the start of the second half and they're sat around on the field trying to keep a bit warm. And as obviously the light goes down here, they might have to turn the floodlights on as well as we go. But we'll keep you informed. The first half, Grace, talking about the football while you keep the picture of the kangaroo in. Yeah, we saw Belconnen United dominate possession. We saw them had the better opportunities, but there was a spell towards the end of that first half where Canberra FC came back into it and looked like they might be able to force something in this second half.
Yeah, I think there was actually some really positive signs coming out of Canberra FC in that last 10 or so minutes. They looked to start getting the ball a bit more as the Belconnen team started to tire, and now they've just got to be able to have those forward runs and back themselves in creating opportunities, because you see 8 Belconnen players back to the 4 Canberra FC, and they're just not going to be able to outnumber them and create clear scoring chances when they're outnumbered like that.
Defensively, though, Canberra FC have been pretty good, considering it's a young back four of Mallinson, Galich, Tamaro and Churchill, who's the more experienced of that 4. Those back central defenders, Tamaro and Galich, they've done very well. Yeah,
definitely. Both Galich and Tamaro are, I believe, 19 and 16, so really young, but they've really matched it up with some goal scorers who are top in the league, and I'd love to see a bit more of that, and those girls starting to play the ball as well once they win it, which will allow Canberra FC's midfield to get forward and help support in front of goal.
That's Belconnen United head coach Anthony Jagarinic staring down the kangaroo and then beating a hasty retreat, and the kangaroo looked up at him.
If anyone on the park today's got to take down a kangaroo, I think it would probably be Ant. But
is anyone bigger than the kangaroo? I think, isn't he? A tall bloke, Anthony Jagarinic.
I think he's been smart in staying away.
Well, Sal Giovinazzo was down here trying to take some photos before, and he moved fairly sharpish when the kangaroo came over towards us. This is what the hold-up is at the moment. You might be able to see it just behind the netting is a kangaroo on the field at Deakin Stadium, meaning that this second half has been delayed. Hopefully we'll get him off at some stage. Got things to do later. What about yourself, Grace? Much on?
Got the afternoons off. Usually it's spent with football anyway, so just hope I'm home in time for dinner.
Let's hope so. The one goal in the first half, scored midway through the first half by Bronte Pike. It was a decent save from Vasta. The ball came out. Pike struck a shot in which took a deflection off of a CFC head, entering the net via the underside of the crossbar. Pike really struck some venom in that shot, didn't she? Connection was almost perfect.
Yeah, really forceful strike that was on target, regardless of the deflection. So, you can't score unless you have those shots. So, I'm sure they'll be looking to get similar outcomes in the second half and continuing to shoot and test the goalie. At
the moment they're trying to spook this kangaroo. You're watching live kangaroo spooking on Bar TV Sports. Branching out from the usual local sports to something a bit different. Looking at the league table, we talked about it briefly before kick-off, Grace, and from a Canberra Olympic point of view, you'd be hoping that next week, big match for you against the Academy, if you could get some points there, put you right back in the mix.
Yeah, we got a couple of big matches coming up, Academy, and then the following week, Canberra FC, and if we can pick up 6 points, it'd really help us push for that top 4, as we've got a game against Gungahlin, who we're chasing at the moment, later in the season, and it would be great for Olympic as the club and also for us as players if we can make that top 4, and I think we can have a really good chance then at pushing for the title. We never know what happens when it comes to finals football.
Well, when you've got yourself, Sally Rojan, Grace Field, Beck Keating, Meg McLaughlin now there as well, if you can get to finals football, there's a lot of players with experience there at the top level. Yeah,
and we've not only we've experienced, but we've all played together, and it's really great to see the quality of players that we have at Olympic this season. They've struggled in the past, and it's really good to see, and hopefully for the coming season that strengthens our youth teams, and we can start having a more well-rounded squad.
Well, those of you that tuned in at the top of the broadcast would have heard us talking about the result yesterday. Canberra Olympic 4-1 winners over Monero Panthers. 4 quick-fire goals from Gracefield, Emma Gow, Meg McLaughlin and Chiara Gaspari had Olympic 4-0 up at the interval. Alicia Moirinen pulled one back for Monero Panthers, who sit on 9 points in 7th place on the ladder. It's not beyond the realms of possibility if they strung a series of results together as well in a 21-round competition that they could still be in with an outside chance of the 4, but they have a very young team over there as well, and a couple of players that they're trying to develop as much as they can. Yeah,
you saw with Monero, one of the biggest problems they have is just the number of players. So often you see a couple of them doubling up for games, and you're never going to be able to get the best out of them when it's so far. When they're playing so many minutes. Yeah, 180 minutes is a lot to ask at this level. It used to be back a few years ago where players could do it quite comfortably, but nowadays you're seeing a lot of teams putting fresh substitutes on the bench, which you never used to see. You used to just see people backing up from reserve grade. Yeah, and that's one of those things where they used to do that, so you reward the reserve grades, again a taste of first grade, but you see now as the game has developed to be a quicker, more physical game, that sustaining that intensity for 90 minutes, let alone 180 minutes, is quite difficult. And as you get older, it starts to take its toll. And perhaps at 14 or 15, I could run all day, but now it's a 90-minute game's plenty. Touching on Canberra United for a minute as well, Grace, they've told a note that came out this week that the competition will be between October and February, as it always is, but they're still waiting on a draw. Is that difficult as a player? You don't know what the draw is yet, or is you expecting it's still too early? I think every season the W League draw has taken a while to come out, and obviously contract-wise they can't finalise teams until that draw's come out, but I think they're still trying to get together first to see what teams are competing, and then their priority this season is to get a full home and away round, so we'd push the total of games to 18 rather than the previous 12 with 2 byes, so a 14-round season. And I think that may be taking a little bit longer than they thought, and trying to source the dates and the fields. But it'll be exciting to see when the draw comes out and what's going to be happening in the W League. We're still waiting for the second half of this live MPL match, Women's Premier League, here at Deakin Stadium. If you've just tuned in, you're wondering why you're not seeing any football, it's because there's a kangaroo that's made its way into the stadium, and it's on the field of play just behind the goal to our left. You can see the players trying to keep warm and warming up, looking in that direction. They're trying to figure out how to wrangle the kangaroo out of the ground. So far, we found out that Belconnen United, Canberra FC, both very good at football, not so good at wrangling kangaroos. There's a lot of minds out there trying to find a way. Yeah, this kangaroo seems to be quite stubborn and isn't being spooked by anything, and I'm not sure how they're going to solve this, and whether it's just waiting for the kangaroo to decide to leave. And well, some gentleman behind the stand came and offered us his jacket to throw over its head, and
offering it to me, and I'm like,
I know, suggested we go catch the kangaroo.
absolutely, we're not.
I'm going to stay on this side of the fence, I think, for the time being.
I don't have much experience with catching kangaroos.
No, I usually, you'd let them be. We used to see plenty when I used to live in Dubbo, but never was did I have to catch one.
Never had to get one off a field of play.
No,
during
the only
a match.
ones we ever looked after were the babies, and, well, they were pretty harmless.
As you say, though, the ironic thing is he doesn't look bothered at all by what's going on around him. We could probably just kick off and he'd just stand behind the goal and watch the match.
Yeah, I know. That's what it happened in the first half. Wasn't phased at the ball or the players and was enjoying some great football. But at the moment, I guess, he seems to be sizing up one of the players on the other side, or the spectators on the other side of the fence.
They've opened a gate down there. They're trying to force him to get down to that gate and get out of the ground if they can, and then we can get on with the reason that we're here. As I said, frustrating for the players, frustrating for everybody involved.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things.
It's on a match delay. Usually it's either weather or pitch conditions. Never seen an animal delay the match, but it's one of the great things about having a field just near a mountain.
Well, fortunately, one of the reasons we normally get long days is an injury, and it's not one of those, which is great news. We'll just keep talking a bit about women's football in general then, and it's been an incredible year for the Matildas over the last 12 months as well. They've been playing some incredible football, getting some results on the world stage as well, and seeing a lot of the players going over to America and really lighting up the WSL. Yeah,
it's been a massive, even 18 months for not only women in football but Australia in football, and not only has the Matildas been really successful, they're coming up soon to try retain their Tournament of Nations trophy, but you've also seen some players light up the world stage in Sam Kerr and Caitlin Ford, who's returning from injury, Ellie Carpenter, the youngest in the team, and so it's really good to see that we're starting to produce players that are considered world class, and as a team we're in the top 10 of the world and moved to our all-time highest ranking in 4th. And I think it's only good things to come. And with the World Cup on at the moment, I'm sure a lot of Australians have been inspired by the Socceroos performances, and it's really pleasing to see that we're stepping it up in both men and women's. As a young player yourself and growing up, how much of an influence did watching the Matildas have on you as a player, and how much of an influence will it have on this next generation, seeing the likes of Sam Kerr doing amazing things on the world stage? Yeah, I think as I was growing up, when I was probably a little bit younger, the Matildas weren't the front of my mind, but Canberra United certainly was. I used to have the posters of Grace Gill and the team from the very early stages of W League, but now you start to see, these young players, boys and girls, are having idols, just at their doorstep and getting to see them play, and it's really encouraging lots of players to get out there and start playing, and it's going to improve our depth as a nation, and hopefully our team, we can only get stronger. And you were a ball kid at Canberra United back in the day, weren't you? Yeah, I was one of the telltale stories of Canberra United ball kids. I used to work or volunteer at the uniform shop, and then I would do be a ball bod whenever needed, and the famous story of ball bod in the warm-up, and Caitlin Munoz, as much as she doesn't claim it was her shot, missed the goal, and I tried to stop it and broke my wrist, and went and got a green cast, got it signed by the team, and it still sits in my room, and 2 years later after that I was signed to the club, and it's a story that's told as a safety warning to the ball bods and a little bit of a laugh throughout the team. When you're warming up now, is it conscious in the back of your mind when you're having shots at goal, you can see ball kids behind the goal and think, hang on a minute, better take something off this? You think it would be, but I like to think that my ones won't go stray and they're in the back of the net, so the ball bods are safe. So it's Munoz's inability to hit the target that was the issue? Yeah, just one of her, maybe it was on her right foot, hence why it was wide. But no. But of all the people in their team, that's not really the one you want to get behind, is it? Because she's got a fair whack on her foot. Yeah, power. I think it had to be her, if anyone, that was going to bend the wrist back to the extent that it did. but it was a funny tale, and I remember in classic fashion not wanting to go to hospital, thinking it was fine, and so I sat and watched the first half and had a steak sandwich, and then the pain kept on going, so we ended up heading to the hospital.
It's a great story, though. I mean, for up and coming players that me and the Bull kids, and maybe they're now thinking, well, here's someone who's done what I'm doing, is now out there on the field and enjoying the actual game, and playing internationally as well. It's an incredible story.
Yeah, I think as much as everyone has their own different stories, it is one of those things where you have idols that you look up to, and then the next minute you're playing for them. I've got I know some of the players that I idolised, and I had posters on my wall. I have signatures of. I'm now getting to play alongside and I'm good friends, and it's just, I think a beautiful thing about the women's game is that everyone's so welcoming and really loyal to their fans, and and it shows just that relationship they have between the players and the fans that keeps people wanting to come back to clubs.
So the posters still there, or have they gone? And how soon after you started playing did they come down?
Well, those posters came down when we moved house, because I had to take them off the wall, and I think they got a bit ripped. But I remember having a cover photo on Facebook of myself getting a photo with the team when I broke my arm, and when I got signed to Canberra United, it was still the poster, still the photo, so I had to take that down in case anyone realised that it was me. But we found out just before my debut, the Catherine Brown brought up about, do you remember that girl that broke her arm? And I went, that was me. So
there you go.
Yeah.
They didn't know either.
No, they didn't know. So yeah, it's a great story to tell, and have a laugh about it now.
As a player that's come through the ranks at Canberra United and played as well, is it a bit weird when you consider there may be young girls out there now with posters of you on their wall, dreaming of the same things? How does that make you feel?
I think it's very humbling, and it's really sweet. I've been coaching a lot of younger girls as well, and they're the ones that are at the game, and I look back and I go, oh, there's the little girls that I currently coach that were there taking photos, getting signatures, and some of the girls that in my 13s Olympic team have my signature on their boots from Canberra United season. So it's very sweet, but it's also great to see, and yeah, very humbling.
Yeah, humbling, I'm sure it is. And like you said, it's good to see you still playing locally as well and giving back to the local game as well. And not just players like yourself, but the players that you're playing with, like Grace Field and Sally Rojad, who had their time at Canberra United, and the ones we're seeing today, Ellie Raymond out there, and Caitlin Munoz and Grace Gill as well. Great Canberra servants to the game and had their time in the W League, and helping to give a little bit more back and a bit more experience to these girls. Yeah,
I think it's great, and you see it in the Sydney leagues, the Melbourne leagues, especially because they have such depth, that when you get Canberra players too, it makes the competition that much stronger, and we've nearly got the kangaroo out of the field.
Well, there's a gate right in front of him. If that was open, I think he might be out of here.
I know.
The one just there, but we nearly got him gone. We're hoping to get this done before Christmas, this match.
Or just before the sun goes down and everyone starts to freeze.
There's been a bit of a delay, of course. You're watching live Bar TV Sports, WMPL Football, Belconnen United, Canberra FC. Top two in the women's game here in Canberra. We're waiting to start the second half. Belconnen lead 1-0, a goal by Bronte Pike. It's been delayed because of the interloper on your screen, the kangaroo. Still hanging around and wanting to play a big part as it can. As I said, very frustrating for the players.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see actually how the players start the second half, if it does ever start, with such a match delay, and whether they've switched off and if there's a chance for some early goals in the second half.
Well, it brings the question is how long do we wait now is the other question, and whether or not they decide that it won't be worthwhile waiting any longer.
I don't think there's any FIFA ruling as to the delaying of a kangaroo in the guidebook, so I'm sure it'll be up to the ref's discretion.
We're still waiting for the start of the second half. Checking with Grace Marr, Canberra United and Canberra Olympic player, about women's football while we wait. And Canberra United season last year wasn't the best season in terms of results, but it's great to see a lot of young players getting an opportunity in that setup and really making their mark.
Yeah, historically Canberra's been quite a mature team in terms of their personnel, their international players and their local players, and we saw a change in coach and a change in personnel with a lot of younger players getting an opportunity, and you saw someone like Carly Rossbacken, who was limited game time last season, really excel and be able to make her mark, and now she's fortunate enough to be heading over with the Young Matildas on Wednesday, I believe, to compete in the AFF Championship, and she'll be looking to make her mark this season as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of young girls. It was probably one of the youngest Canberra United teams I've ever seen myself, and you can see sometimes in the way they were playing, you see what Heather Garrick was trying to do with them, and if they can keep that group together and you guys can keep together for the next 2 or 3 years, it could be really, really exciting times for that club.
Yeah, I think one of the things and the harder things with W League is that it's a short season, and there is a lot of time in the off season, and weather, and we had a lot of interstate players last season, and people want results, and it is hard, and people do get impatient when it's a young team that possibly hasn't performed as well as Canberra has historically, but it'll be interesting to see how the team goes this season.
Well, you can see the process, which is the important thing. I think the results take care of themselves after a while. The younger players will mature and get better, and like I say, as long as they keep them together for a while, it should bode well for the future. Talking about football, whilst we're waiting to start this second half, the World Cup's on right about now. Have you been able to watch much of it?
Yeah, probably too much. I'm a bit lacking of sleep at the moment. But there's been some brilliant matches, and it's what you hope to see in a World Cup on the biggest stage, and been staying up the late hours of the night, not only cheering on the Socceroos but some of the best players in the world, and it's just really good to see, and really brings people that footballers and non-footballers alike together and to watch such a brilliant football.
Who's impressed you so far, team-wise?
Team-wise, I think a lot of the favourites have actually underperformed. They're still very strong and are getting the results, but I'm not only a Chelsea fan but big Eden Hazard fan, so I've been really impressed by Belgium and the style they've been playing, but I've also been really impressed with some of the underdogs and their ability to counter. Mexico are playing fantastic at the moment and just so quick and physical, and you saw that against Germany. Germany are a high-pressing team, and they got caught on the counter and subsequently lost that game. And so it's really good to see different styles of football getting results, and not the usual dominating nations getting the wins all the time. And then France, I still think, have got more to show, as well as Brazil, who are the top to win the tournament.
Well, Eden Hazard was outstanding last night in Belgium's 5-2 win over Tunisia, and when you've got him pulling the strings and you've got Romelu Lukaku scoring the goals, they're going to be very difficult to stop, aren't they? And they've scored 8 goals in their first 2 matches.
Yeah, Romelu Lukaku's in fine form at the moment. He's really come in at the right time, and Eden Hazard's just a wizard of the game. He's brilliant, and if you can have someone threading balls for an informed striker, then there's bound to be plenty of goals, and they've got some strong substitutes, fantastic goalkeeper, and then again some world-class midfielders. So they're just really well-rounded, and I hope they continue playing some good football and maybe cause some upsets.
And what have you made of the Socceroos so far in their 2 matches? The French game, disappointing results, but the performance okay, and then Denmark maybe a little bit the reverse.
Yeah, I think it's been really pleasing to see. Obviously, with the change of coach, and you can tell they've been asked to play a different style, and how they were going to adapt to that. But they all seem to be just in form, fit, working for each other, and I haven't seen them play with that much passion and at that level for a long time, and it was really pleasing to see. And there's some outstanding performances from Matthew Leckie. It'll be really interesting to see how they line up for that third game. They've obviously gone with consistent lineup for the friendlies in the first two World Cup matches, and I'm sure the fans are screaming for us seeing some more of Daniel Zani, who's just a brilliant footballer at 19. You can only think of exciting things for him in his future.
Yeah, he was absolutely outstanding when he came on the other night, took the game to Denmark. And did you feel that there maybe was a little bit of a lack of belief in the opening in that game? First 20 minutes or so, Denmark scored the goal and probably should have gone 2-0 up. But it took up the Socceroos a while to settle. When they did, they probably looked the better of the two sides going forward.
Yeah, I think they ended up really dominating, really being unfortunate with the loss. But in saying that, so far their 2 goals have come from
penalties, yeah.
From penalties, and you see they're getting in the box, but to win matches you've got to be clinical, and if they can put those chances away, and I think Daniel Zani is a player that can do that, and some people are, Craig Foster's calling for Timmy Cahill to come on, and I
think the whole of Australia was calling for Timmy Cahill to come on, weren't they?
Yeah, I think, we've got to be careful we're not living too much in the past with, we've still got some great players that are in form, and also, just a little bit younger and mobile. But I think maybe as a substitution, could be a great option, especially if the game's close and screaming out for someone with the aerial ability that he has.
And a big match against Peru coming up. Did you watch any of the Peru matches so far? Have you watched them against France or Denmark?
I watched the highlights against France, and it's hard to tell kind of what their style is. They're still a very strong team. I think they're ranked 11th or 12th in the world. I think they're all, Australia's group are in the top 12. But I just think if Australia can finish some of their chances, because they are constantly creating chances, and defend the way Trent Sainsbury and Mark Milligan's been defending, then there is no reason why they can't come away with a win. And hopefully if results go their way, move on to the final stages.
To the knockout stages, where some severe challenges will await, of course. Matches on tonight. I think England are on at 10 o'clock against Panama. Tune in to watch Harry Kane play again.
Yeah, the Tottenham, he is a brilliant player and a true goal scorer, and he's been in form for quite a while, and he's again scored the double in their opening game, and I'm sure him and a couple of the other players, they'll be looking really to step up, especially knowing they have that big game against Belgium for the last round game. Then they'll really need those 3 points to progress.
We're talking about the World Cup because we're waiting for the WNPL second half to kick off. We've had a major delay here as a Kangaroo's just laying on the field now, having a bit of a rest. We're trying to get him out of the stadium so we can start the second half of this match between Belconnen and Canberra FC. So I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator. I'm talking with Grace Maher about all things football as we kill a few minutes while we're waiting for the second half. We're talking World Cup at the moment, and Grace, the World Cup, 3 real points that have come out of it so far. Penalties, loads of them. VAR, lots of controversy, and late goals.
Yeah, and I think that so far there's only been the 2 games that a team has come from behind to win, and you saw that last night with Germany scoring late to come back from being 1-0 down and securing some crucial points after their loss against Mexico. And then, the controversial VAR decisions, which still unsure about, and whether the VAR is going to continue is another question. But like I said, it's part of the game now, and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Well, we've got the gate open. The big surge for freedom there. If the Kangaroo just turns around and looks the other way, at the moment he's eyeing off everybody who's trying to get him out of that gate. We may be closer to solving this issue.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to be too concerned with the people around him, and in fact, I think everyone's a bit concerned that he's going to size them up and come for them. So, well,
this will turn into Wing Kangaroo's attack in a couple of minutes.
I know it's going to go viral.
We've got the camera on just in case. But the VAR's caused all sorts of issues, hasn't it, at the World Cup? It's here to stay, obviously. They're not going to change it, but it does need a bit of a tweaking.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit unclear as to what decisions can be called. They say clear mistakes, red cards, all those decisions that are crucial in a game. And you've seen some decisions be rightfully overturned and some possibly wrongfully overturned. But I think, football fans are screaming out saying that it's the beauty of the game is that it's up to the ref, and sometimes that kind of decision is better left not knowing rather than having to be perfect, and I guess they're trying to get rid of the human error, which seems to be very controversial.
We've got a car on the field now trying to corral the kangaroo off.
Ant's got his big
Ant's
ute
got his
there. He's
ute.
on a mission.
It's got the lights and the thingy. He's beeping.
Oh no!
I'm throwing a ball at it, but that's not going to help.
No.
Anthony's ute on the field and flashing the lights, trying to get the kangaroo to take the hint. But the gate is well open.
You can tell Ant wants to get on with this game, so he's taking matters into his own hands.
He really doesn't want this to be ending. He's doing well here. The Belconnen head coach. He's corralling it towards the gate. Is this the end of it? Oh, just missed it. Over the fence. Nope, coming down towards us.
Oh, actually.
Here we go. We might be lucky. Some entertaining. Here we go.
Oh, he doesn't want him to come back.
Doesn't want him to come into the field of play. Oh, it's just walked past the open gate. It's
perhaps doesn't have
peripheral vision.
Of the footballers. It's only seen straight ahead like a true striker.
Needs a bit more peripheral vision because it's not happening at the moment. Oh dear. We're close. We're getting close. Anyway, it seems to have gone where it went before. And then we want to get this game back underway if we can. The kangaroo has bounced out somewhere, maybe in the car park again, as long as it's not on the field.
Yeah, I think spectators are going to go keep an eye on him, but for now, hopefully we can get on with the game.
We have had a major delay, which is not going to please everybody. Let's see what the time is. 3:30. We got a goal in the men's Premier League down at Narjong Oval. Kuma Tigers lead Tuggeranong United 1-0. Nicholas Vijafanye with the goal there. The Argentinian, big goal for the Tigers. Tuggeranong, if they win today, could have gone top of the table, but they're 1-0 down. The Argentinian import scoring once again for Tigers. So both teams out there just going through the motions. We should be underway fairly soon. Thanks for your patience. Live on Bar TV Sports. 45 minutes to go. Thanks for the chat, Grace. We'll get back to the reason you're here.
No worries. I love talking about anything football and could fill some time in if need be.
Like I said, I've called many strange things over the years, but that's the first time we've had to chat about a kangaroo on the field of play. I'm sure that video will be making its way around the Bar TV Sports Network.
Yes, I'm sure it's on many people's social media at the moment.
It would be, yeah. I even threw one up a couple on Instagram at half-time.
I could see Chantel Jones, who's American, over there getting her camera out. I'm sure she'll be showing all of her American friends just what happens in Australia.
Yeah, just a casual Sunday afternoon at Deakin Stadium. Right, we look like we're going to get some football, which is why we're here. Belconnen United in the blue shirts, their team for the second half. Manenica, Roth, Clark, Keir, Pike, Dave Price, Munoz, Raymond, Maguire and Whittle. Canberra FC, Vassar in goal, Mallinson, Galich, Tamaro, Churchill, midfield, Gill, Barkley and Hagan. Up front, Genovese, Wright and Goldstein. Our friend, unfortunately, has made a return just behind the goal, out of the field of play. Tom Wadzinski, I think, is going to get us underway anyway. We're going to start the second half. Hopefully, we can concentrate on the football. Canberra FC taking the goal to our left in the first half. In the second half, Clark sends out one forward. Churchill will see it out of play. Throw into Canberra FC. Early stages of the second half. 1-0 to Belconnen United. Bronte Pike's goal in the opening 25 minutes. The difference between the two teams at the moment. Churchill to take the throw. Throws it in, heads forward. Munoz helps it on its way. Falls for Maguire, prods it towards Raymond. And that's a good piece of defending from Mallinson to get rid of it.
Yeah, positive signs are already for Belconnen, and they'll be looking to double their lead. Oh no.
And the kangaroo is on the field of play again.
Oh my god.
And racing across the field of play, scattering players left and right, bearing down on goal.
The goalie's in his sunbathing spot. He won't be happy.
And back where he was half an hour ago. And Tom Rodzinski blows the whistle and takes us off the field again. Not what we want to see. And this isn't looking good for the match to be continued, unfortunately. They just can't seem to get rid of him.
Yeah, and unfortunately I think part of the rule is if you haven't played more than 3/4 of the game, then it's going to have to be rescheduled. And
We might be back on a cold and windy midweek evening.
I know, especially with the recent temperature we've been having at night, it won't be pleasant or ideal for the players.
Well, it remains to be seen how long they give it to try and get this kangaroo out again. It's not ideal for anybody involved, not least the spectators or ourselves. And the players too, just in their circle, moved fairly quickly there, didn't they? When he came running down the park.
Yeah, but you could see, I think now the Kangaroos are a little bit distressed. He wasn't looking at attacking anyone, and the players just had to stand still while he ran across the field. Probably quickest player in the park at the moment.
Absolutely. It was the poor thing's probably a bit distressed, as you say itself. Doesn't look too phased, does it? Well, I'm not sure what a phased kangaroo looks like, to be fair.
No, you can't say they're two angry creatures. They're usually quite calm, but they've got seemingly a good exit out the other end, and
Well, they've
hopefully...
let's see if we can drive him down towards that end. Antti Jagarinet's back in his ute, and he's corralling it towards the end. It's heading where we need it to go right now. Keep bounding that way.
Yeah, good. It's going straight.
Skippy going straight. If this could be interesting, keep going. Oh, just veering off. Taunting Antti Jagarin in his car.
Doesn't want to leave the lovely grass here.
It doesn't want to. It's getting rather ridiculous now.
I'm sure that whoever looks after the grounds here will be a little bit stressing over the car on the field.
There's obviously something at that far end of the field that he's very, very keen to be a part of. Whether he feels safe behind the net and the fencing, I'm not sure. But it really is one of the most bizarre things we've ever seen on a football ground in Canberra. Right, take two.
Yeah.
Heading towards the main stand now, or the main stand that we're in. There's a big fence over there.
Yeah,
just can't seem to get him down there, out of shot. Obviously trying to do the best thing that we can with this kangaroo without hurting it, and it's out of the gate, and he's gone.
Woohoo! Oh, now he's...
Hashtag winning.
Yay!
Anthony Jagarinek, hero of the day. Canberra, Belcon United head coach, kangaroo wrangler extraordinaire.
Now quickly shut
the gates. Got to get out there and shut the gates before it comes back in.
Excellent.
That was incredible. Kangaroo wrangling is the winner today.
Yeah, there you go. Turns out noise is the way to go when trying to spook a kangaroo.
Yeah, not throwing balls at it.
No, I don't think it was
Not to do any keepy uppies or something, was it?
You know.
Anyway, finally got him out of the ground and he's bounded off into the distance. Hopefully he won't be back. And we've got a football match on. And Belcon United on the attack. It's a goal kick to Canberra FC. In fact, I think they've indicated a corner. The referee pointed to a goal kick, and now it's a corner. Overruled by the assistant. Carla Martin on this near side. Belcon United flooding the penalty area with blue shirts, looking to add to that goal that they scored midway through the first half. Right foot corner towards the area, edge of the area. Genovese helps it away. Day picks it up on the edge of the box. Skips past the challenge, and it's prodded forward looking for the run of Wright, who's been fairly isolated for most of the afternoon. Need to get a bit of support to her.
Yeah, I think it seems to be that route one ball over the top, but Wright's looking for it at her feet, and if they can start to play at her feet and she can hold the ball up for the supporting runs, then they might actually be able to create some chances, but as of yet they're skipping her out a lot of the time.
Pike down the left-hand side, looking to take on Mallinson, who defends her well, and shepherds the ball out for a goal kick. Canberra FC, of course, still very much in this match. Only 1-0 down. We've Only had 3 minutes of the second half if you've just tuned in. Running a bit late. There was a fairly lengthy delay as we tried to get the Kangaroo out of the grounds. Was flicked on by Barkley. Wright picks it up. Price is in there too. Goal at Gugong in the Men's Premier League. Canberra Olympic lead 1-0 over Monero Panthers. Dom Giampaolo with the goal there. Tigers FC 1-0 up over Tuggeranong down at Nijong Oval. Nicolas Vijafanye with the goal for the Tigers. And 1-0 here in the WMPL between the top two teams. Whittle will shove in the back and gets a free kick. Chance for Belconnen United to throw some players forward.
Yeah, Mickey. Actually, I know they're going to go with Jazz here. Sending Caleb Day into the box. They'll look to get on the head of Caitlin Mooners, I'm sure.
Maguire's over the ball, looking to send it into the penalty area if she can. Get some good elevation on it. Day's challenging. The ball bounces down towards Whittle, who drives it off the crossbar. And away. A half chance for Madeline Whittle. She got a good connection, and it thundered into the bar and away to safety.
Yeah, it was a great strike and really unfortunate to be ending up on the wrong side of that crossbar. But again, a nice set piece from Belconnen, looking dangerous in those areas.
It reached Whittle inadvertently off of Galich, I think it was, and she struck the ball well. Still 1-0 there. Vasta with the goal kick. Rather chips that one forward, looking for Gill. Wright and Hagen getting each other's way, and Munoz prods it forwards towards Raymond. Churchill wins it. Hagen gives it away to Raymond. Looks to take on Churchill with a slide ball down the line towards Whittle, who hit the crossbar moments ago. Good defending from Tamaro.
Yeah, I'd love to see Maddie Whittle take on Tamaro there, 1v1. She's quick and she's skillful, and it will create a bit more of a goal scoring opportunity rather than crossing from out wide.
That one's taken short and clipped into the penalty by Roth. The keeper's missed it and it's dropped into the goal. And Sam Roth scores the second goal of the match for the Blue Devils. That sunshine we talked about in the first half, it's come into play, and Vasta unfortunately lost it in the flight in the sun that's right behind us, shining straight into her eyes, and it's dropped into the net, and that's a really unfortunate way for Belconnen to go 2-0 up. Yeah,
you saw she came out to collect it and realised she couldn't see and tried to palm it away, and unfortunately it's gone right over her head. And but it was quite a nice ball in anyway from Roth, and should be pleased with the goal considering she doesn't score many, and I don't believe she has much longer left at Belconnen before she heads back to the States. Just her second goal of the season from full back, and lovely flight on the ball as well, even though, like you say, the weather probably played a bit of a part in that. And that's 2-0 to Belconnen United, and they're well on the way to the 3 points. You can see why their head coach was so keen to get that Kangaroo off the park. Yeah, wanted the 3 points and didn't want the rematch. But yeah, he'll be pleased with himself for his heroics today and the fact that his team are up 2-0. And here they go, looking for more. Sam Price looking to prod that ball into the path of Maguire, and Tamaro's back there and defends it well, the youngster. Hard to believe she's only 16 years old. Yeah, she's showing great maturity in the centre-back role. You traditionally see centre-backs as the more mature, older players, but she's definitely doing really well and has filled the spot great for Amy McLaughlin. Gill won the flick on, but it fell for Keir. That's back with Clark. Day in the centre circle. Barkley was shadowing her, not allowing her to go forward, so she has to go back to start again with Clark. Keir tries to play it forward. Hagen left it a bit short. Munoz comes in, drives it left-footed, and Vasta was behind it all the way. The goalkeeper's positioning was good. Yeah, it was really good, but you'll see plenty of those from Caitlin Munoz. She loves to creep in on mistakes and shoot from wherever she can. Little nudge in the back of the goal scorer Roth by Goldstein. Free kick to the Blue Devils. Fairly impressed with the midfield from Canberra FC today. Barkley, Gill and Hagen, they've coped really well with Day, Price and Munoz. Yeah, Grace obviously the most experienced for the Canberra FC, has done a really good job, and I think Jamie Berkeley, she's had quite a good game, getting lots of touches on the ball and defending well, and then on the ball, perhaps keeping the ball a little bit better between the three of them can help them get a goal back.
Clark lifts that one into the area, all the way through to Vasta. Who's going to send this long forwards. The bounce is going to beat the defence. Clark at the second attempt hooks it forward. Picked up by Mallinson. Under pressure from Raymond. Maguire. Raymond. Asking a lot of price. Gill tracking back. Should have the legs to get there. Finds Vasta, whose clearance is short, but it's picked up by Hagen. Now right. Hagen again, looking for Goldstein. Better from Canberra FC. As I said, although they turn over possession, and Keir goes back to Manernica.
Yeah, Goldstein's been quite quiet this afternoon, and love to see when she gets those opportunities with the ball at her feet to take on her fullback and see if she can get closer to goal and perhaps go herself or get a good crossing.
Keir brings it away. And has overhit that one. We've only played 10 minutes of the second half. Might be opportunity to look at the benches again. Sophia Evans, the Lancry sisters, Zoe and Jess for Canberra FC, Diane Wilson as well, and Christina Compost-Grauer on their young bench for Belconnen United. Georgia Fogarty, Leah Carnegie, Gemma Murphy and Nicole Jaloka. Nat Lacey, the replacement goalkeeper, although she can also play on the field as well. So options for both teams. Do you think that Canberra FC might look to their bench shortly?
Yeah, I think they might look to see if they can get swap over some of their forwards. Genovese looks quite tired out on the wing, and that's usually a substitution they've been making. And then for Belconnen, I think if the game starts running their way, we'll like to put on some of the younger players, especially give Nicole Jaloka a little bit of game time. She's usually a starter in the squad. But actually it looks like they're about to bring Georgia Fogarty on, perhaps.
Price wins the ball in midfield. Nice play from Munoz. Keir, Genovese puts the pressure on. Clark helps it wide. Space for Pike, who opened the scoring this afternoon. Seems like an age ago now.
Yes, well, it has been over an hour and a half ago.
Galich is in there and helps to get that one away. Belconnen looking to add to their 2-goal lead. Both fullbacks have scored, Pike and Roth.
Yeah, Belconnen do really well in interchanging their fullbacks. You can just almost call them all wingers.
As Raymond's down there, I think there was a hanging foot. It's a sore one. She gets herself up and limping around, so that might force Jagarinik's hand anyway.
Yeah, she's done quite well today and covered a lot of kilometres, Raymond, and if she can't continue, I'm sure Ant won't hesitate in putting on one of his bench players.
Well, Jaloka and Carnegie can both play, I guess, out wide there if they need to.
Yeah, and they've also got the options of putting out some of their midfielders even up into the 9 and moving Maguire out wide. But it looks like here it's a straight swap.
Bit Sam Price coming off. Is that Fogarty coming on?
Yeah.
So the swap in midfield. Sam Price was pretty effective throughout the game today.
Yeah, she's done well, works really hard off the ball and made some really good runs that unfortunately weren't seen or played through. But she's been at Belconnen for a long time and she's finally seen minutes in first grade. Here's
Raymond looking to chip it into the penalty area. Nobody in a blue shirt there. It's going to fall for Goldstein. Left that a little short for Churchill, and Roth wanted a piece of it. It's back with Churchill. That left foot looks to send it forward, and Roth intercepts. Whittle. Nice ball into the penalty, and nobody on the far stick, though, for Belconnen, and Mallinson's happy to let that one roll out of play. The game will become more open, you think, though, as long as we go. As tiredness sets in, a bit of fatigue, and also Canberra FC will start to have to look for a way back into this.
Yeah, I think not only the midfield's been worked really hard, but the wide players in the fullbacks and the forwards have had great battles, and it may prove the difference.
Shot comes in from range once again. I think that was Fogarty's first involvement. Vasta was behind it though. Up towards Clark. Rather slices that, and Goldstein has a chance. Roth snaps into the tackle there. Goldstein has to go back to Tamaro. Fogarty. Now Day. Pike off on another of those forward runs. Look at Genovese though, tracking back well. And stuck a leg out to make the tackle.
Yeah, it's great work ethic, and if you can get your wingers defending like that, it's a really positive sign that CSC still have plenty to give in the tank.
Worth mentioning though, again, that they're without 6 what they would call probably first choice players today. Still doing a good job. Defensively, Hagen's back to concede the throw, which Pike will take. Finds Raymond, who appears to have recovered well from that slight knock she took. Keir. Munoz. Gill, the ever-present shadow like she was in the first half, and Berkeley was there also. Here's Fogarty. It's good midfield once again from Canberra FC. Good play to shut down the forward pass. Really working hard in the centre of the field.
Yeah, they're making it hard for Munoz and Day to get on the ball, and I'm sure frustration might start setting in if they can't get any more opportunities to play that ball forward.
Clark goes forward, and there was a challenge between Vasta and Pike, and Vasta just bumped her off and just stood there looking at her.
Yeah.
Going, what do you think you're doing?
No, good goalkeeping. So you got to be brave to play that position, and yeah, it was a bit of a late challenge from Bronte, but I'm sure she didn't mean it.
Yeah, she was up to apologise fairly quickly, wasn't she?
Yeah, not in her nature for that.
Vasta takes a free kick, comes off Munoz. Keir picks it up. Belconnen United leading 2-0, goals from both fullbacks. Sam Roth in the second half, Bronte Pike in the first. Keir, like I said, the only one of these outfield players that hasn't scored a goal this season, although now she's been joined by Georgia Fogarty, who's yet to find the net as well.
Yeah, Georgia's just returned from a ACL injury she sustained last season, and she's been over in America for most of the year, and so it's really good to see her back playing. I'm sure she's loving it.
Roth intercepts. Goldstein's there, but Roth takes over and gives it to Fogarty. She finds Munoz. Good run forward by Raymond again. Nice tracking though once more by Genovese, who's been very impressive, and forces Raymond into overheading the pass. Vasta happy to send that down the field. Keir and Clark combine. Temperature dropping as we speak as well, Grace.
Yes, you can start feeling it on my hands now, and as that sun goes down, I'm sure we're going to start seeing the temperature go into the minuses again.
We've still got half an hour to play. Clark sends that one forward, looking for Maguire, who should get there, but Galich comes across and elegantly just knocks it away. Quick throw though. Pike's in the centre of the field now. Still going, Pike. Good run this. Down in the area, and Tom Wadzinski says penalty.
Oh.
And no VAR here.
Yeah, I don't know, tough call, I guess. That's like you say, it's up to the ref's discretion, but I thought Mallison got her body in front, and it was a soft penalty.
It looked like she just ran into it, didn't she, really? But it's been awarded, and this, for Caitlin Munoz, is an opportunity to put this one to bed, you'd think, even with half an hour to go.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be very happy to take this penalty. She's world class when it comes to penalties. Let's hope that we don't get the commentator's curse. But
will she place it, or will she just leather it? We will see. She's got amazing power in those shooting boots. It's Caitlin Munoz, veteran of Canberra United and Belconnen United, looking to put this game to bed. Munoz hits the post, and she can't do that off the rebound. That's a free kick. Put it over the bar anyway, but she can't play her own ball. But there we go. Caitlin Munoz, that's 3 for 3 for you now.
I know. I'm not having so much luck. Hopefully that'll be the last one, but that was very inch close, and you could see what she's trying to do, just curl that ball into the side netting, and but yeah, as many people get a bit confused when it does come off the crossbar and it's untouched, that you've got to leave it. And I've seen that happen in a game not too long ago with Ellie Carpenter, and gives a free kick.
As a person who's missed that penalty, the natural reaction is just to swing a boot through it, isn't it?
Yeah,
more in frustration and annoyance than anything.
I know, she would have known that she wasn't able to do that. But yeah, like you said, it's one of those things. If the ball's there, you want to play at it. So
naturally, you just swing a boot. But there you go. It's the game's still on for Canberra FC. Bit of a lifeline, and maybe justice served.
Yeah, I think as the game goes on, Belconnen are going to grow in confidence, and if Canberra FC can perhaps use that energy of that little bit of luck for the missed penalty and get a goal back, it's going to make this last 30 minutes of the game really interesting. But they've got to start getting the goals soon.
Well, it's all been fairly one-way traffic this second half. Clara Manenika's had very little to do in the Blue Devils' goal. By contrast, Vasta has had plenty to do, and she'll have more to do here. Churchill helps her out defensively. That's come off of Roth's hand, and that will be a free kick. But as that sun goes down behind us as well, and it gets lower and lower, it's so hard for goalkeepers. And we're not making any excuses for her for the second goal, but yeah, it's really difficult for her as a goalkeeper, even with a cap on, to be able to get that when it comes out the sun. Yeah,
it's interesting, with these stadiums that are built, they don't factor in the sun, but you'll see in a lot of stadiums and football pitches, they'll position the pitches so that the sun sets from sideline to sideline, so these factors aren't such a big deal. But like you said, if you're captain in a game and you've got to make a choice of which way to go, you've got to factor in these things so you don't get the worst of the sun.
The shadows are lengthening, and so's Belconnen's lead at the top of the WMPL at the moment. Was 2 points heading in this game. It will be 5 with the game in hand. It's a long way back for everybody else then, and this will be 12 wins in a row. Nice round dozen for Anthony Jagarinik and his squad. Raymond looks to get on the end of that ball forward. Beaten to it by Vasta, who finds Genovese, who's been seen more in a defensive role in the second half than an attacking role, and she's done both quite well. Yeah, she's done really well defensively, so has Malison on that right-hand side, and as much as it's not the favourite thing of a winger to do, is defend, she's done her job there, and she'll be really hoping she can have some chances to get forward now. Gill in the middle of the park. Day with her. Comes off Maguire for the throw-in, which Genovese will take. Hagen can only volley it straight back out of play. The latest scores, as we said, in the men's MPL at Nijong, Tigers 1, Tuggeranong 0, and at Gugong, Monero 0, Canberra Olympic 1. So Canberra Olympic pushing towards the top of the table. If they get 3 points today, they were beaten surprisingly in midweek by Gungahlin 1-0, who in turn were beaten by Riverina Rhinos yesterday in the men's competition. So all sorts of results going around there. Yeah, it's been really interesting watching the men's game, and it seems to be Canberra FC's the only consistent team, apart from obviously they lost against Olympic a couple of weeks ago at Deakin Stadium. But it'll be an interesting battle for the top 4 and then into the finals. But Canberra FC were unbeaten for a long time, then they've drawn with Tuggeranong United and lost to Canberra Olympic in their last 2 league outings. So, maybe there's a bit of a change of the guard in the men's competition at the moment. The women's competition seems to be going with the status quo. Yeah, I think also maybe they'd put a lot of energy into their FFA Cup games, and maybe off the back of that, some fatigued legs let a couple of points slip. But yeah, I think it'll be a great battle in the back end of the season, and it's great to see some of the clubs who have previously not done so well battling out in that top 4. They won the FFA Cup, of course, as you mentioned. They will find out who their reward is on Tuesday. The draw for the national round of 32 in the men's competition. Meanwhile, back here at McKellar, that was Lauren Keir tidying up for Belconnen United, who, as I said, look to be extending their lead at the top of the table. But we have half of the half to go, and still a chance for Canberra FC if they can find a way back into this one. Throw-in was taken by Churchill. battle is with Goldstein. And another challenge from Wright. Out of play. Canberra FC have the ball. And we're going to get another change here, Grace.
Yeah, Ellie Raymond off for Gemma Murphy, who's another young product of the Canberra United Academy. She made the switch as she was overage this year to Belconnen, and she scored quite a few goals actually up in the earlier stages of the season, and she'll be looking to get some more, I'm sure.
Yeah, just a 6 for Gemma Murphy so far this year.
Every Belconnen player seems to be on.
They've all got a bucket full.
Trying to get to the double figures.
She's their second highest scorer in the squad today, after Madeline Whittle's 10. Jasmine Maguire, who's up front now as well, has 5, so between them there's a fair few goals. This one's up towards us in the commentary box. Wouldn't suggest going for a touch. Churchill will take the throw. Back to Tamaro. Gives it back to a skipper. Helps it forward. Tricky one for Wright to take. Nice little spin on the ball there. Goldstein. Keir's right with her, and Whittle won't let her settle either. It's a throw though to FC, which Churchill will take. 20 minutes to go. Gill. Back to Tamaro. Just to bring it forward, but turns over possession, and Roth gives it straight back to Galich. She brings Berkeley into play, and Hagan goes down, but there's no free kick, and Belconnen look to attack through Price. Munoz slides it through. Real chance here for Whittle. She could seal it. Madeline Whittle, she slid it wide. Real chance for Whittle to add to her 10 goals this season, but she's wasted that one.
Well, the keeper did really well then to stand her up and keep moving with her as she tried to take the keeper across the goal, and and again another great save.
I think she thought she was going to go around her at one stage, didn't she? And Vasta stood her ground.
Yeah, and
made it difficult. Yeah,
she probably could have kept on going, but like you said, those opportunities could have sealed the game, but with 20 minutes to go, there's still that possibility for Canberra FC to get back into it with a quick goal.
They've made a change as well. Diana Genovese's come across to this near side because Rachel Goldstein has left the fray.
Yeah, and Sophia Evans has come on. Yeah, she's a really lightning quick player, and she caused some problems for us last time we versed her with getting behind, and if the right ball can be played, she'll be in on goal.
It was a difficult afternoon for Goldstein, wasn't it? She couldn't quite get involved going forward like she would want to.
Yeah, she was tightly marked the whole game and wasn't able to beat the player and face forward, so was often forced backwards, and much to Belconnen's liking, she was very quiet and was shut down most of the game.
Wright takes on Keir, swings it into the penalty area. First real chance of the second half that we've seen Canberra FC. Churchill looks to send it back where it came from, and Keir defends well, plays it off of the Canberra FC captain. Nice turn of pace though from Wright to get away and get the ball into the penalty area. Yeah,
it was really good. It would have been nice again see some players making that run near post. Obviously, that she was shut down through the first centre back, but positive signs for Canberra FC.
And hopefully this is a positive change, and Evans can give a little bit of support to Wright, who's worked tirelessly up front on her own for most of this afternoon. To put a bit of pressure on Belconnen United if they can. Genovese. Header is picked up by Day. And Belconnen work it out well through Roth down to this near side. Murphy. First involvement for her, and it's tidy. And she looks for the return and just come off the bench, and she's quick, but she's not getting that. See, a more experienced player would have been turning around to Mickey Day and having a look then and giving that telltale nod.
Yeah, would have done the I'm not that quick, but
what are you doing?
Right idea. Give me an extra 5 seconds. Now I'm sure Mickey was looking for that ball to be a little bit softer, but still intelligent play from her.
A good ball that occasion to Pike, who goes off on a run. It falls for Fogarty. She'd lined one up, but it was charged down in the middle of the park by Berkeley. Falls for Fogarty though, and she finds Roth, whose goal 6 minutes into the second half has given Belconnen a bit of a cushion. Off she goes again. looking to find Whittle on the edge of the area, and Gill sends it back up the field. Clark. Keir with her. Roth. Slides it forward to Munoz. Tried the cheeky little dummy, and it kind of came off after a fashion. Whittle. And it'll fall through to Vasta, who just sends it away. Wright's header. Evans rolled the challenge of Pike. And it's found Whittle. Nice turn from Maddie Whittle into the air. Madeline Whittle, real chance here! And she's blazed that one wide as well. Fantastic skill to get in and just snatched at the opportunity.
Yeah, great use of her body, but she's going to be really disappointed with that again. Just could have placed it into either corner, but decided to try go for that top corner and blitz it, but wide again, and another chance gone begging.
She balanced the ball on her head there for a few seconds and then spun the body around. It was an outstanding piece of ability to get in.
Yeah, not sure if she meant it, but it works, and she was adapted and created another chance.
Makes it very hard to tackle, doesn't it, if you can balance it on your head?
Yeah, I know. You can't get the foot up there and can't really header it either. It's a loophole, I guess, in keeping the ball away from your defender.
There's something for you to practice.
Yeah, but I like to keep the ball a bit closer to my feet, especially with my height. There's not so much of strength of mine, but I could work on it.
Well, there's 2 chances for Whittle now, and she'll be a bit cross with herself she's not got on the score sheet, because her finishing's usually very good. Hagan looks for Berkeley. Pike's rangy running over there trying to shut off the angle, but Berkeley's going to get there first. Can she deliver into the area towards Evans? Beaten to the ball by Clark, who's happy to send it into the stand. But Madeline Whittle will be a bit cross, won't she? Do you think, Grace? That she's not found the target on either of those 2 chances?
Definitely. She'll not be happy about that, and but she'll keep working and
But they can't keep giving her chances, can they? Because she's going to take one of them eventually.
Yeah, eventually she will, and if not this game, I'm sure she'll score a couple more throughout the season.
You'll just be hoping it's not against you.
It definitely won't be against us.
Another change for Belconnen United. I'll have to see who's going off. Is it Michaela Day making the slow trudge to the halfway line?
Yes, the I'm tired walk rather than time wasting, I'm sure she'll claim. But no, she's had a quiet day today. She's been tightly marked, and I'm sure Nicole Jalocca will be eager to get on and make some havoc in the midfield for Belconnen.
But Jalocca played in the earlier game, the under-20s or reserves. Is it reserves?
Reserves, yeah. Reserves,
and it finished Canberra FC 1, Belconnen United 6, as Gill fires one in, and it's pushed away by Menenica and tidied up defensively. And the first time we've seen Grace Gill as an attacking threat, and she got the shot away, and Menenica needed to get down well to push it round. Yeah,
you just a little glimpse of what she can do up front, and her technique to strike the ball. May not be the hardest, but is definitely in areas the goalkeeper finds really difficult to save, and if only she had a bit more of a chance like that.
Well, maybe as the game ticks on towards the final 15 minutes or so, she will get involved a bit more as an attacking threat. She's definitely an aerial threat if they can pick her out off this corner. Swung towards a near post, and it's in the side netting, unfortunately, from Hagan, I think was that who took it? No, it wasn't. Can't see with the camera, unfortunately. It was, in fact. We're saying about Jalocca, she played her part in that 6-1 reserve win earlier on. Belconnen Reserves laying down a marker for the day here. Fogarty. That's nicely done. Nice spin, and Bronte Pike looks a bit tired.
Yeah, she's done plenty of running, and she's made her mark, I guess, scoring the goal, but also contributing in attack and defence, and she's rightfully so to be tired, but she's still got a little while to go before she can take off the boots.
Yeah, she'll earn her rest tonight. Clark. Fogarty. Munoz, rather stabbed at that one. Gill. That's well worked from Hagan, looking for Genovese, who tries to get in behind Roth, and it bounces off of the Canberra FC winger for a goal kick. Still got a couple of changes up their sleeves, Canberra FC, and he made the one so far. jacket time for everybody on the balcony.
Yeah, as the sun sets and the last remaining bits are going down, you certainly feel that bite of the Canberra winter.
I'm blaming the kangaroo because we'd have been done well before this.
Yeah, so am I.
Keir not feeling the cold on the field because they're 2-0 up. Murphy, lovely touch. Finds Whittle, skips past two challenges. Whittle looks to slide the ball through for Maguire. Vasta was there first though and defended it well. Nice interplay between Murphy and Whittle there.
Yeah, it was a good run from Maguire. She managed to stay inside, and but well defended, and keeper again was alert to the threat.
Roth beaten by Genovese, and she puts her head down and stretches the legs into Belconnen territory. Not much support for her though. Evans makes a late run ahead, and that's where she's gone. Nice turn from Evans as well, but the pass is a little bit loose, but finds Gill. Comes to this near side where Berkeley gets involved. Hagan clips it into the penalty area and is looking for Wright, and Keir needed to be alert and heads it wide behind for a corner, but that's a nice little passage of play from Canberra FC.
Yeah, you can see when they start playing, taking the ball, taking less touches and moving off the ball for each other, that opportunities are opening up, and they just still don't have those numbers in the box that when they get it up there, that they're not able to find a shot or create a chance.
Well, physically they haven't been able to impose themselves up front. They've got a very small front line, Evans, Genovese and Wright, in terms of stature. Fair bit of pace though, so it might be a way to get them in. What they have here is a set piece and a chance from the corner. Good one deep towards the far post. Menenica comes, got half a finger on it. Gill will pick up the pieces on the far post and look to reload into the danger zone. Swings the ball in, good ball too, and there's an example. Wright not able to get a head on it. Goes back to Hagan. Lovely slide ball through towards Evans, and Belconnen United for the first time are on the back foot.
Yeah, a little bit of a scramble, but at the same time, when those balls are looping balls into the box and the players you hit into are shoulders shorter than the Belconnen players, it's going to have to take a great leap to get a goal.
Got a lot of qualities, Bridget Wright, but height is not on her side, is it?
No,
she's very small.
Got to find the ways around those sorts of things, and she'll want it at her feet, I'm sure, or pick off the scraps.
And she's really worked hard as well today in a front running role, looking to run the channels.
Yeah,
she was involved there.
Any striker would know when you're playing an isolated position like that, it's really exhausting, and she hasn't stopped running and trying, which is really positive.
Galich slides it forward, but only as far as Clark. Big goal down at Nijong. It's now Tigers 1, Tuggeranong United 1. So Tuggeranong went into the day in second place, and they're looking to push towards top. At the moment, that point would put them above Canberra FC. Another change for Belconnen United. Leah Carnegie is going to get a run. Another substitute with a couple of goals to her name. Is that Maguire and the sun that's gone off over there as well?
Yeah, she's had a pretty good stint. Pretty quiet compared to her usual self, but she's still done really well working off the ball. And she'll be, I'm sure, happy to have a little break for this last 10 or so remaining minutes, and Leah will be stoked to get on, and hopefully she can pinch a goal.
Yeah, she got a couple this season.
Yeah, she's a really good technical player, and I've played with her a little bit when in my younger days in the Capital Football setup, and she's been at Belconnen for quite a while now, and it's really good to see that she's getting minutes in first grade as well.
Mallinson challenged by Murphy. Belconnen have the throw, which Pike will take. Looks to send it into the penalty area. Here she is, ghosting forward, still going, Bronte Pike, and almost forced the corner, but in the end it's a goal kick. We've got 8 minutes to play live on Bar TV Sports. Women's National Premier League Football. Canberra FC 0, Belconnen United 2. Goals from both fullbacks, Bronte Pike in the first half, Sam Roth in the second. Caitlin Munoz has missed a penalty. It's not just Messi that can't score from 12 yards.
Yes, it happens to Happens to the best of us. But,
Absolutely.
it's a high pressure situation, and you don't see many players that can take a penalty and not miss every single time.
Well, we backed her, didn't we?
Yeah,
and
we
it
did.
didn't happen.
I caught it, and any other day I'm sure she would have scored it, but perhaps she's still getting her penalty legs back from having a bit of time off with injury.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter quite so much in a game where you're 2-0 up. This is Zoe Langtree going to get a run for the hard-working Genovese. And if anyone deserves a break, she does as well.
Yeah, tirelessly worked up and down that flank. Probably did more defending than attacking, and you know how taxing that is on the body. And again, she'll be glad to have a little rest and watch out the remaining minutes on the sideline.
Yeah, Genovese had 3 goals coming into the game today, but didn't really get a chance to add to that tally. Did more defensive work, tracking Bronte Pike for most of it, and then switching to this near side and getting the thankless task of doing exactly the same with Sam Roth.
Yeah, that's what Belconnen's strength are. You know, they like to go on the front foot and think of it as the fullbacks get forward means the wingers have got to drop, and take that gamble with their centre backs doing a good job one-on-one defending.
Fogarty looking to switch the play to this near side. It's a great pass too. Finds Roth. Off she goes. Being trapped by Langtree. Finds Whittle, who had a couple of chances to add to the tally and can't force that ball past Churchill. Will get a second chance though. Fires it straight into the defender. Jaloka's there. She swings it across goal, and Vasta gets 2 fists on it and gets rid of it. Helped out defensively by Tamaro. Roth clips it into the penalty area, and Murphy's on her toes, but that's going to roll away from her.
It was a nice looking ball actually. Murphy had gotten maybe 1 or 2 steps before that she'd kicked the ball, but the CFC defence seemed to be alert to it anyway.
It was well tracked. Murphy's run was good, but the defensive running was good too, and Vasta did well to get a couple of fists on there, and it just goes to show how alert you need to be defensively to help out if your keeper's making that kind of save.
Yeah, definitely, and those types of palms, if your keeper's fumbled the ball or palmed it away and your defence aren't ready to clear it, then that's an easy tap in for the opposition.
Pike will take the throw in front of the CFC bench. It's Carnegie's touch. Fogarty to this near side. Roth has a bit of room in which to move. Cuts inside Langtree. Fogarty. Faced up by Gill. Looks for Whittle. Nicely done. Looked for Murphy in return, but it's going to find Munoz if she can keep it in. Trying to pump the legs to get there, and the ball ran away from her.
Yeah, smart little knock into the corner, even though the ball had gone out. Showing all the old tricks she's got up her sleeve. Counting down those minutes.
Sneaky move from Munoz. She's
expect nothing less.
She knows how to see a game. We call it game management, don't we?
Yeah, it's being smart, we like to call it, or tactically aware.
4 minutes to play. Belconnen lead 2-0. If Canberra FC are to get something from this game, they need to score, and soon. They have forced a save in the second half. Gill making Manenica plunge low to push a ball around the post. Closest they've come throughout the 90 minutes, really. Keir finds Whittle, who's looked really sharp over the last 15 minutes of this match. Finishing very strongly. Keir. Nice ball forwards. Pike. Took a time to turn and find Carnegie, but loses out in the middle of the park, and here come Canberra FC, a chance for Langtree to get on the end of this one. She steps away, but the ball is going to run through, and Roth did just enough defensively there to put her off her stride.
Yeah, she was wrong-sided, but used her body well to force the ball to go long.
Murphy tries to bring it down, but Gill's there. Now Hagan. Langtree's made the run again, and Roth again is in the way. Fogarty finds Munoz. Presents the ball to Gill. Thanks very much, says her former teammate. And then she niggles her back enough to win the throw-in.
Yeah, great little battle there, and just shows two ex-Canberra United players that wealth of experience and still playing, and love to have a little tassel while they can. Well,
it's been noticeable that Grayscale's not been able to influence proceedings in an attacking sense. but done a decent enough job on Munoz that she's not been able to have it all her own way going the other way.
Yeah, I guess it's that risk and reward of do we want to cancel out their plays, or do you want to take the risk and try to score yourself? And she's done really well to keep Munoz quiet, but unfortunately Belconnen still find a way onto the scoreboard.
Here's Langtree looking for right. Roth again was in the way. Now Kier. Carnegie goes back to Price, to Pike rather, who plays it off of Evans, right in front of the bench, and they'll be very happy with what they've seen so far. It's time ticking down, 2 minutes to go. Can't imagine would have too much stoppage time to add on. Evans. Pike's involved again. If you're looking at a player of the match, Grace, with 2 minutes to go, who would your shout be? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, it is difficult. I think, looking at Belconnen, I think Sammy Roth has been fantastic defensively and on the ball, and then she's obviously got the goal. And
well, Whittle goes down in the middle, no doing, says the referee on this occasion. Come back to that thought in just a second as Churchill looks to cover defensively and slides a nice ball to Langtree. And Hagen can get rid. Up towards right. This is better from Canberra FC. Holding off Lauren Kier. Hagen there again, and Jaloka for Belconnen. So Bronte Pike's impressed you, and anybody else? Sorry, Sam Roth impressed you?
Yeah, Bronte's done really well as well. Also, Maddie's been really good today. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to take her chances. If she had, probably would have won that man of the match performance. But
great touch from Carnegie. Chance for Fogarty with a chip, and it's just gone over the crossbar. Nice little work.
Yeah,
great ball touch from Carnegie, and a lovely thought from Fogarty first time.
Great run and a really clever touch that gave it just enough to round that Canberra FC defender, and not far off getting a third goal there at the very end.
Final 30 seconds of the match. Belconnen United look like they're going to win this match 2-0, unless there's something in the final seconds. Tamaro defensively, she's been pretty secure for Canberra FC as well.
Yeah, both Galikichin and Tamaro have been quite solid, and you've seen the Belconnen goals haven't come from mistakes from the back line, and they'll be pleased with their performance. Well,
referee Tom Wodzinski says that's enough of that. It's been a funny old afternoon here at Deakin Stadium. We've had a long delay with the Kangaroo. We won't keep you too long. Grace, thanks for your company. Your final thoughts on the game?
I think it was really good. It was positive and a big improvement from their first round clash. Belconnen obviously still showing their dominance in possession, but CFC showing that they have the ability to defend well, and if they can catch Belconnen on the counter, it could be a different story.
Well, thanks for your thoughts on everything football related today. Good luck with your recovery as well. We hope to have you back in the commentary box again at some stage this season when you're not playing. So for this afternoon at Deakin Stadium, Belconnen United win into the match 2 points clear at the top of the table. They've now extended that lead to 5 points with a game in hand because they've won the match 2-0, goals in each half from their fullbacks. Bronte Pike giving them the lead via a slight deflection in the first half. Sam Roth with a chip which the unsighted goalkeeper caught out by the sunshine, couldn't keep out. Other than that, it was Belconnen United who were fairly confident in most of what they did. Grace Gilforce to save from Clara Manenica at the other end in Canberra FC's best chance, but Belconnen United were worthy winners. It's finished at Deakin Stadium. Canberra FC 0, Belconnen United 2.